Alright, good morning everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm your charming, self-proclaimed, yet still humble host, Mukluk, and today we are back in the wonderful world of Guild Wars 2. Which is Tyria, by the way, did you know that? Hello there. Welcome back, one and all. We have got a busy day ahead of us. Current plans for today, for this Guild Wars Tuesday, is to try out the last new support that I have not tried out since the launch of Visions of Eternity, which is the Luminary. I have still not tried that one. However, got a few things happen to distract me a little bit. Apparently, Guild Wars, or I should say ArenaNet this morning, announced that they are releasing Guild Wars Reforged, an update to the original game. So that's freaking newsworthy, isn't it? And also, maybe it's a patch day? I don't know. There's a lot of people spreading rumors that they're, like, oh, I hope they nerf Rit today, I hope they nerf Warrior today, kill Elementalist just to be safe, blah, 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 blah. Stuff like that. So, I don't know, we might have patch news too. At the very least, this Guild Wars Reforged thing, we're absolutely going to go over this and see what all is in there. For sure, for sure, for sure. And then, hopefully... Go, Ninja, go! Hopefully they update my referral link to include Guild Wars Reforged, and then I can be like, use my link. Alright, let's go to the guild hall. So, just doing the normal routine that we always start the stream with, and letting people file in. And then we'll go over the new news. Good morning, Mucka Chat. Hopefully my sound has been adjusted. Probably not. That's okay, though. That's all. It's my fault for leaving it as it is. Hey, Chip. Chip is in the room. Guys, look at me. I'm so curvy. He says hi. I don't know if you heard that. Hey, what's that? What's that? Do you think it's called news because it's new? I'm not sure. Seafawn, you check. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate you. Hold on, chat. Hold on. He's over here yelling at me. Scratch, 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 scratch. The booty! The booty! It rises! Wiggle, 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 wiggle. I can barely reach your head, dude. You're so far away. Oh, wait, I got an idea. Get rotated, idiot. Scratch, 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 scratch. Okay. There we go. Okay, he has received some pats. Back to this. If it wasn't new, it would be called olds. Wow. My chicken used to like head scratches as well. Lots of people and things like head scratches. Now, Shaman says it's patch day, but I highly doubt it's a balance day. They usually announce those. Unfortunately, I work today, so I don't see the patch notes. Most likely till late. Well, we will find out. Usually...
Mukluk chip pat, Mukluk chip pat, Mukluk chip pat.
Usually at the latest, we get like patch notes and stuff around noon to noon 30 Eastern Standard Time, which is just over 2 hours from now. So we will see at that time if that's the case. Hoya Bella, thank you for the sub. Appreciate you. Hoya Bella knows about Twitch Prime. That's when I go to work, Rip. Evoker's heal icon is getting updated to reflect the selected familiar, much as they said. Sorry to be the teacher, but news is an acronym for getting info from north, east, west, and south. Maybe that used to be what it means. I hope they nerf obscure chest. I'm tired of doing it every day. You're like, look, I'm not going to stop picking up this money. Could you please nerf how much money is here? I'm so tired of picking up this money. My back... I'm bending over at the waist to pick up this money. My back, it's killing me. Oh my god. Oh, I got a herniated disc. Oh, that's so much money. Like, it's a little self-inflicted. Are we getting a balance patch? That was the rumor, yeah. I cannot wait for Mug to say I'm going to looming and then loom all over the place. Looming? Eh? Rit needs to get nerfed hard. Rit is very fun. And part of it's because it's OP. I would not be surprised if they nerfed it. It's a Lumen time. Is that what Luminary does? They just yell it's Lumen time and then they just loom all over the place? And since a lumen is a light, I just imagine he's like, oh, and then just lights just go everywhere. Need bigger bags. My bags are fine. Antiquary doing more DPS than Rit does? Yeah, but Rit is also out healing the healers while doing DPS.
You must prove your strength to Ox by
So you know what? Nerf them both and Ellie just to be safe. Guild Wars 3 is actually Guild Wars Reforged. What? Morning, Mucket Chat. Morning, Windshark. Do you see the Guild Wars Reforged thing? I was linked to the article like 20 minutes ago. We're going to read it and pour over all the juicy deets in a few minutes. We're just letting people file in, get seated, get they popcorn, all that good stuff. Muck, for how long did you know before the announcement? For how long did I know about Guild Wars Reforged before the announcement? Legally, I can't say. No. What's the thing? Oh, signed an NDA. That's a good out. I signed an NDA.
No, I didn't.
Loranity was holding back on us. Loranity was holding back. What did Loranity say? Does Guild Wars Reforged come with proper Strathholm cutscene? This entire Lion's Arch must be purged. She has a special stream by ANET tomorrow. What? I didn't know about that. Saying you signed an NDA is a breach of the NDA. I'm not a lawyer. Let's see. Boop. Y'all don't spoil the article, Tim? No. Okay, real talk. I have known they were working on it for a little while. However, that's kind of it. I've known that they were working on it, and I knew what it was called, but I did not know the details of what was in it. And I also could not talk about it. So I will probably learn more from reading this article than I knew in the first place. So that's kind of it. So I would imagine that Laura knew what I knew, but it sounds like if she's on some special stream, maybe because of like, you know, she led the whole 20-year anniversary thing, maybe she got invited to do some like special coverage or something. And if so, that's really cool. Because she and Noxxi and a few other people are like, you know, really diehard Guild Wars 1 fans that I know. Like, they know Guild Wars 1 better than I do. Like, I'm a Guild Wars 2 fan. I played Guild Wars 1. It was fun. But, you know, I'm not on the same level of passion for that game as, like, Laura or Noxxi is. So, it doesn't surprise me. Hang on. I got a Cheerio in my lung. Mike, why did you do this to me? People said I lost out. I tried at Lost Eidolons. I'm having such a love-hate relationship with it. Lol. Yo, I was blasting through it last night, man. We started a new run last night, and I'm already at Act 3. Ah, dang it. No! There we go. Alright. Let's see, this one. Act 3 of what now? Lost Eidolons Veil of the Witch. It's another game that we've been playing lately. Muck, PvP rush starting today. Any plans to dip back into PvP? Not at the moment. But who knows what the future tells. I love the gameplay vibe because I love Fire Emblem, but being okay with dying and losing. I mean, you don't have to die and lose. You could just win. Here's the thing, like, Veil of the Witch is a turn-based strategy game, and it is very challenging, but they know it's challenging, and so each fight, you get, like, 6 undos. And you can undo all the way back to the beginning of the fight, right? So, ever since I was a couple runs in, I've been successful each time, because it's like, if something really hairy happens, I'm like, okay, oh wow, they just killed my healer. All right, let's go back 3 turns and position everyone differently. You know, things like that. So it's, if you've played games like that before, I think you will find it challenging and you will have to use the undo button, but I don't think you're gonna get just like beaten into the ground or anything like that. Did you see the Horizon MMO gameplay stuff? No, I actually have that open too. I was going to watch that today. Oh my gosh, so much stuff. Okay. Alright. Oh, I need to use the gobbler. Hey, Micah Chad. Hi, Crimson. Oh, you said Chad, not chat. Who's Chad? Cheerios aren't supposed to go in your lungs. Yeah, no kidding. That's why I was coughing. That was my breakfast. Cheerios. And where's my gobbler? My gobbler. Tips a Surin fedora. Show me my gobbles.
An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to OnlyFans feet pics in bio.
In bio? Thank you, anonymous user. Welcome, OnlyFans feet pics in bio. Appreciate you. Actual Cheerios are legally distinct cereal rings. This time it was actual Cheerios. I will say, if you're trying to save money, if you're living that poor life, and you are buying like the knockoff cereal, the knockoff Cheerios taste fine. Now don't get me wrong, there's some like the knockoff, what was it? Knockoff Lucky Charms? I've never actually had dog food. But knockoff Lucky Charms are like they're bad, all right? They're bad. I tried them. All right, but the knockoff Lucky Charms and the knockoff Fruit Loops, those are safe, those are fine. You will save money and it's not going to hurt your taste buds. But the knockoff Lucky Charms, like dry heaving. It's bad. Test. I see you, APOC. Moof, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships on the YouTube. Appreciate you. What are these names? Pepe Le Pew, 2 hot dogs, Yang Soisan, Alexi, and Brazen NL. Thank you guys. Welcome. Dollar Tree saltines better than any other crackers. Knockoff Cheerios are great. Yeah. That butt is not a good pause. No, it's not. I had a fried egg sandwich with ham on an English muffin for my breakfast. Well, that's very fancy. I woke up 10 minutes before stream started, so I was in quite the rush. So, knockoff Cheerios it was. Okay. Alright. Let me fly up here. Whee! Okay. Alright. Let's see here. Okay. Chad, it's time for some news. Alright, I am going to do a few things here. I'm going to pull this over. And, oh, hold on. Let me double check, like, okay, that should be fine. Okay. Alright, I am going to clear my throat, apparently. Pause the alerts and take a drink of water here. News for us, but for you. No, look, I told you guys. I did know they were working on this, and I knew the title of the project for some time. Probably I learned about it the same time Laura did, because they sometimes spoil us. However, the details of the project were not known to me. I am probably about to learn more about this from reading this article than I knew about it before. So, we can all be excited together. All right, here we go. Hello, Guild Wars gamers, and I didn't say the two this time because I'm including all of you, both of the original players as well. We've got some new news. Today, ArenaNet announced Guild Wars Reforged. Oh my god, yeah. So what is this? Is it a remake? Is it a remaster? Let's find out. So, this year, we've been grateful to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the launch of Guild Wars Prophecies and the start of the Guild Wars franchise.
Hey, look, it's the Tree of Birds. How are you today?
Patrons, please contain yourselves. Spurred on by the wonderful community response to our April anniversary celebration, we're excited to... You know what? I'm just going to restart the whole thing. Are you guys done? Are you guys done? Hang on a sec. I'm actually going to message my guy that does the bot, because I actually asked him a while ago to give me a pause button for it, and it's not done yet. And I'm gonna message him again about that. So you guys are gonna wait right here for just a second. Just a second. Hang on. Okay. I thought you said you're pausing notifications. I'm pausing the Twitch notifications. I do not currently have the ability to pause the Patreon notifications, and they're very bad at following directions. That's why I have to read to you guys every day. It's like a bunch of kindergartners in here. All right, starting over. Hello, Guild Wars gamers, and today we have got some news. They have announced Guild Wars Reforged. So this is something that everyone can be excited about, the Guild Wars 2 gamers and both of the Guild Wars 1 players. Something for everyone. They released an article today, and it reads, this year we've been grateful to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the launch of Guild Wars Prophecies and the start of the Guild Wars franchise. Spurred on by the wonderful community response to our April anniversary celebration, we're excited to announce Guild Wars Reforged, which will be available December 3rd. That is very soon. And we got a nice picture here. Is that Devona? Might be Devona, I'm not sure. Reforging a Legend. We believe that even with all the advancements and innovations of the last 2 decades, Guild Wars has a lot to offer. Wait, was Devon a brunette? An enchanted world of limitless adventure, a deep and flexible skill-based combat system, PvE and PvP challenges of all types, and more. Guild Wars Reforged begins with a series of updates to Guild Wars that will be completely free to existing players and make it easier than ever for new players to experience it all firsthand. And we've got a link to a YouTube video, and this is it right here. So, play. Steam Deck verify. Well, wait. New low price, support for controllers, high DPI displays, enhanced audio and UI, rendering refinements. No monthly subscription. That was a cool little, that was a cool little animation thing. No, forget, pause! You stupid YouTube player. I hate the new YouTube player so much. Okay, so that is the video. Cool little animation there at the end, as I was trying to say. All right. Where were we? To make this project possible, we've partnered up with 2 Weeks, a small team formed in 2024 from former ArenaNet staff. The 2 Weeks team has more than 14 years of combined experience working on the original Guild Wars at ArenaNet, bringing invaluable insight and passion to this project. We can't wait for you to play and experience it. The first updates you can look forward to include new low bundled price. Guild Wars Reforged brings Prophecies, Factions, and Nightfall together for just $19.99. Okay, really quick, for anyone new to the franchise, Prophecies was the original game. That's not an expansion, that was the OG. So it's Prophecies, and then Factions and Nightfall. So there's the game, and then 2 expansions. So they're bundling all those together for $20. If you have purchased even one of the 3 campaigns, all of them will be unlocked through Guild Wars Reforged. So if you already owned Nightfall or Factions, you'll get everything. And of course, there are still no subscription fees. Hardware compatibility. Guild Wars Reforged is Steam Deck verified and has support for modern controllers. The UI has also been redesigned with larger text options, and the game has support for high DPI displays. Visual and audio updates. Dynamic sky bloom effects, new ambient occlusion, and lighting updates take better advantage of modern GPUs. Other visual touch-ups refine texture and make for a cleaner visual experience, while new positional audio support makes the world more immersive. User friendliness. In addition to the updated UI that allows easier navigation, Guild Wars Reforged brings a new quest tracking system and an on-screen control guide. And there's a picture of art here. Oh, there's Minlo in the background. And that's probably... Is it Sin? Oh, that might just be some lady. Minlo was in love with Sin, the Elementalist, so I'm not sure if that's her. Okay. On December 3rd, when the game updates go live, you'll also see the updated logo, previewed at the top of this post, on our website and Steam storefront. Guild Wars has grown as a game and a franchise since its beginnings in 2005, and we thought this was a fitting opportunity to introduce a more modern look for our beloved classic. These updates will take effect for all players. The new Reforged edition does not contain exclusive content or updates, but it simplifies the choice of what to purchase for new players. And Guild Wars Reforged isn't about a one-time update. We plan to keep collaborating with our partners at 2 Weeks to make further improvements to the game in the future. If you've never filled up your Hall of Monuments, there's no better time to get started. Oh, snap. Let's talk about that. Okay, Hall of Monuments. What is the Hall of Monuments? The Hall of Monuments is a... Let's open this in a new tab. Okay, give me just a sec. I'm going to log in with myself. All right, it is a reward system. And basically... all right, this is mine. This is the name of one of my characters. All right. This is a reward system. Basically, you earn achievements in Guild Wars 1, and you get loot in Guild Wars 2. It's a genius way of making it to where people who play one game might care about the other game. So, for example, on mine, I've gotten this handful of achievements, okay? And I have gotten some special cosmetic skins of armor. You know, this is just like armor in Guild Wars 2 that makes you look like a Guild Wars 1 character. Some weapons, a chip, there's an orange tabby there, the fiery dragon sword from Guild Wars 1, a rifle, and Black Moa, a ranger pet from Guild Wars 1. And again, this is all like cosmetic stuff. This isn't going to make you more powerful than other people. One of the top things is, where's the... I don't know, it's here somewhere. There's a Black Widow spider in here, which is like near the top of the thing. But you get achievements in Guild Wars 1, you get rewards in Guild Wars 2. Now, to my knowledge, I don't think it works on Steam or Epic. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's standalone client only, so that's worth knowing. But it's good to know. I mean, they basically mention it, so that should mean that Reforged is able to still earn Hall of Monument stuff. Okay, we've been thrilled to share the world of Tyria with you all for the last 20 years, and we're excited to be renewing our commitment to the game, starting December 3rd and continuing on into the future. To see Guild Wars Reforged in action and hear from both 2 Weeks and ArenaNet developers, join us tomorrow, November 19th, on our Twitch channel at 11 a.m. Pacific Time for a special live stream hosted by one of our partners, Loranity. Yo! That's awesome. Loranity... I'm not surprised she got invited to this. She was the head of the project for the Return to Guild Wars thing a couple months back, where I joined in it too, but myself and hundreds of other people all did a full playthrough of Guild Wars 1 for the 20th anniversary. She and Noxxi and a few other people are the most diehard Guild Wars 1 fans that I know. Like, I enjoyed Guild Wars 1. I definitely do not have the passion for it that they have displayed. To stay on top of Guild Wars Reforged news, update your newsletter preferences, and there's a link, I'll include it in the description, and be sure to select Guild Wars, ArenaNet team. And then there's a few pictures here. So that is Ascalon after the Searing. I'm pretty sure this is Ascalon before the Searing. And this is in Canthus somewhere. Or that might be the Battle Isles. I mean, they've got the same architecture. I don't know. That is in the desert, which became Path of Fire. That is... I don't know where. That is really cool looking. I don't know. This is the Shiver Peaks. And this is the Maguma area. And that's the last picture. That's the last one. Okay. Yeah, very, very cool stuff. Is there anything in the description here? Let's see. Guild Wars 1 Reforged, play with no subscription fee. A Legend Reforged. On December 3rd, experience Guild Wars Reforged, the award-winning online role-playing game enjoyed by millions, now re-energized with system enhancements. From the fall of Ascalon to the desperate stand against Nightfall, every campaign is a chapter in Tyria's epic history. Your adventure is just getting started. New features, free to existing Guild Wars owners. New bundled low price for new players, including Prophecies, Factions, and Nightfall. Steam Deck verified. Support for X input controllers, such as the Xbox wireless controller. New quest tracking and direction system. On-screen control guide. UI enhanced with HD skill icons, larger text options, and quality of life improvements. Support for high DPI displays. New ambient occlusion, HD bloom, and anti-aliasing rendering enhancements. Rebuilt audio system with environmental effects. No hardware support needed. For more information and to purchase on December 3rd, head over to guildwars.com. And that just takes you right here. Oh, I like it. I like the website. That looks good. Dude, I forgot about some of these old high-def cinematics. Where every character looks like their hair just got permed. Let's see. So there's a newsletter you can join coming on December 3rd. 3 legendary campaigns, 1 epic adventure. Yeah, so as I mentioned, for anyone who's never played Guild Wars Prophecies, which she represents in this picture, was the original game. And then Guild Wars Factions added the Assassin and the Ritualist. That was in Cantha, where we now have End of Dragons. Guild Wars Nightfall, which I've actually never played. Guild Wars Nightfall was in Alona, where Path of Fire takes place in Guild Wars 2, with characters like Joko and stuff like that. They added the Paragon, which we just got after 20 years, and the Dervish. Let's see. Choose your build. So your character, choose your allies, choose your challenge. Something else I think is worth mentioning about this for people who have never played Guild Wars 1. What is it? It's not like Guild Wars 2 at all. It is completely possible to love both games, and it's completely possible to like one of the games and not really care for the other. So let's talk for a minute about what it is. In my eyes, it's not an MMO. If it's an MMO, then Diablo 2 is an MMO. Okay? When you're in town, you're in it's like a lobby. It's a hub. You will see other people. When you go out into the open world, you are on your own or with anyone you partied with before leaving town. So you can play the whole game basically single player. Now, there are dungeons or areas where you are meant to be with multiple people. You can take AI teammates. There are henchmen and there are heroes and stuff like that, and they play decently, but you can play the whole game just either on your own or using these AI teammates. And you want to play a DPS, grab the tank henchman, grab the healer henchman, stuff like that. Mesmer was very different in Guild Wars 1. It had a lot more CC skills, like counter spells and shutting down enemy spellcasters and things like that. They're kind of like a blue deck from Magic the Gathering was the Guild Wars 1 Mesmer, stuff like that. But it's more of an action RPG. You go through the world, and then if you want teammates, you go into the nearest town, and then you're in a hub with other people. You can LFG if you want to, or just pick up some AI teammates, whatever, and then go on and out into the world, and then you're on your own again, and it's your instance of the world. So that's how the game works. Just I want to make sure that if anyone decides to pick this up, that they understand how it is. It is a very fun game. Even someone like myself that just enjoyed it once through, that's still a lot of content for $20. And I still need to do a Nightfall playthrough personally. I know Factions is going to be turning 20 soon. I'm kind of waiting to see if they're going to do a 20-year anniversary for Factions, and maybe Laura will do another huge team of people because that'll give me a chance to replay that, stuff like that. But yeah, that's what Guild Wars 1 is, if you're interested. I don't know if my referral link is going to work for that. I'm going to ask. I would be amiss if I did not do that. So that is Guild Wars 1 Reforged. Very cool. Very exciting to see what they do. Hopefully it does better than Warcraft 3 Reforged. But stay tuned and we'll find out together. All right. See you in the comment section. Thank you for holding off on that noise. Appreciate that. What a jump scare at the end. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right, using Reforged in the name was a bold move. Yeah. I don't know much about, what's it called, 2 weeks? I don't know much about the 2 weeks team. Not sure who all's on that one. I think I remember it was during Anniversary Summit today, and it worked on Steam Deck controls. Oh, okay. Why does Iron Maiden have a new emote of her with a bucket on her head? I haven't seen that. Mike Z is on 2 weeks. The challenge here will be remembering my Guild Wars 1 password. Yeah, when I was pulling up the Hall of Monuments, you just gotta put in one of your character names, and luckily I was able to remember one. I had one of them. Should have left that sound in the video. Joke's on you, I forgot mine years ago. Let's see. Maybe they'll pick back up on the abandoned expansion Utopia. There's a big difference between developers making stuff, like, from scratch and just, like, doing a remaster of stuff that already exists. I don't know if they're going to be doing the Utopia thing. Is your character name your account name? In Guild Wars 1? No, I think in Guild Wars 1 when I logged in, it was my email address. Do you create one character for Guild Wars 1 and use it for all the story? No, you can make many characters. You can make a ton of characters if you want. And there, like I said, there's 3 stories, so you can play a different character for each one. Like, for example, Ritualist did not exist in Prophecies. You cannot start in Prophecies as a Ritualist, but you can start in Factions as a Ritualist, and then go play Prophecies after the time skip with that Rit if you want. Okay. Hang on a sec. Same email as yours too for me? Yeah, same here. Alright, hang on a sec. I'm gonna cut out that footage so it goes ahead and starts processing, because it'll take a while. Alright. Come on, Twitch. In Guild Wars 1, you could dual specs. You could be like a Necro/Warrior. Yup. Muck, are there dragons in Guild Wars 1?
Every day. It's like a bunch of...
At the very end of Guild Wars 1, I think you see Primordius twitch, like he's just starting to wake up.
kindergartners in here.
Alright, starting over. Hello, Guild Wars gamers. Hang on. And I got it.
And they're very bad at following directions. That's why I have to read to you guys every day. It's like a bunch of kindergartners in here. All right, starting over. Hello, Guild Wars gamers.
All right, I think I marked it.
Today,
but stay tuned, and we'll find out together. All right, see you in the comment section. Okay. Glint, hello. Oh yeah, I forgot about Glint. Yeah, Glint's in there. You can kill Glint, but then the game acts like you really didn't because she's in the story after the point where you kill her. She's like an optional boss. Let's see. Guild Wars Reforged news. Okay. Put that over here. Save. Alright. Hey, Mike, that's great news. Guild Wars 1's a great game. Maybe you'll get a community chest to give away because of it. Oh my god, you beggar. Let's see. Will you try out Eon 2 at some point? I don't know much about Eon 2, so, I mean, I might be willing to at some point. Okay. Let's see. Hint, if your Guild Wars 2 account is linked to Guild Wars 1, your password's the same for both games. Mighty Sneaker says. They should just make a spin-off that's all Joko all the time. What gives the original Guild Wars its name? Is it PvP? No, it's not. It was called Guild Wars because there was an event in the game called the Guild Wars, where guilds were at war. Like, imagine if there was a... Imagine if there was, like, a first-person shooter based off World War I, and it was called, like, you know, Tom Clancy's World War I or something like that. You know, it'd be like that. Like, basically, it was named after an event that happened in the game's history. However, the game did also have guild versus guild PvP, so a lot of people misunderstood. The Guild Wars were, in fact, before Guild Wars. Yeah, they talk about it. They talk about it sometimes. Yeah, it's in the lore. What is the benefit of using the special lounge rather than the one in the Crystal Desert? I can special action key to travel across the whole lounge with a click, which is really nice. I can fly. It has a entrance to the fractal room right there. Everything's just extremely condensed. I just like it. It's very convenient. I just realized there's a huge advantage to the etheric anchor recipe. It needs only 1 gift of battle. That's 50% less world v world per Legi weapon. It also needs 55 draconic amalgamated stones and 100 mystic clovers. It needs a lot of stuff. Okay. Alright. Where is my guardian? After 13 years of playing Guild Wars 2, I'm finally playing Guild Wars 1, and oh boy, how much I love Guild Wars 1 gameplay and story. It's so good. Wish we got some more of the same content in Guild Wars 2. I mean, Guild Wars 1 has Joko, we've got Joko. It's basically the same game. Alright. Alright. Do you think you'll remake your raid guides with the new classes someday? My raid guides? The raid guides for, like, the get to the point ones? I really don't want to. Like, it took me a year of my life to make those. I really don't want to. They're still accurate. Like, yeah, there's a few lines in there, like, oh, you know, stand your ground as a 10-man stun break. Okay, well, it's not anymore, but they're like 99% accurate. Okay. Alright. Snow Crows and Guild Gen. Let's see. Who has Luminary stuff? Guild Wars 2 builds PvE raids. Power Luminary. They don't have Heal Luminary. Okay. Guild Gen doesn't have it. Alright. Raids. Guardian. Get to the point, reforged. Here we go. Heal Alacrity Luminary. That's what I want. Which flavor of Luminary are you going to play? I've been going through all the supports. So this will be the... last support from the new expansion that I have not played yet. Alright. So... Nope, not that one. Alright, I also just use this build template. Alright. Harrier's Armor, Rune of Water. Alright. And a whole mix of stuff down here. Givers on the bottom row. No support Gale Shot. No, there is no support Gale Shot. I will be trying. So this is the last heal character that I haven't played from VOE. After this, I'll work on like boon supports, like quickness, Gale Shot, and stuff like that. But that's later. Karak. Any classes where spear is ranged above water? A few. The warrior, the ranger can both use it at range. Who else? See, Revenant? Not Engineer. Engineer's melee. Necro's melee. I know Thief is partially ranged. Yeah, there's a couple of them. Let's see. Spear and Staff. Alright, and Harrier's Concentration Transference on both. Alright, Harrier's Concentration Transference on the Spear. And then this one, Concentration Transference. Mug is trying my favorite new Alakiel poggers. Let's see, I just want to get rid of the bright rainbow effect on it so I can see better. Okay. Alright, I got my cape. No Guardian is complete without their cape. Okay. Alright, and... Oh, I haven't done the build yet. Let's see. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I forgot. I forgot a thing. Step on the world v world for a minute and pray. Join team. That's fine. I don't care. Luckily, VOE HPs are very easy. Dude, I don't want to play this. Get the Guardian outside. Someone might see me. Ugh. Alright. 136. I do not have enough. I need 120 more testimonies of Jade Heroics. Freaking AP, I think. Trying to remember which of my characters has the boxes. Guess we're not doing Luminary today. Give me a minute. Let me see. Where are the boxes? I know one of my characters has some. Is it my Inji? Why is bag search always failing? Hold on. I think it might be my engineer. Searching yours to efficiency. No, hang on. I'm just going to be stubborn for another minute. Muck on giveaways. Are you not prepared? Muck while playing. Never prepared. Bro, I stream almost 60 hours a week. I don't have any time to prepare the streams. Every day we ad-libbing. There we go. Skirmish chest. Found them. These things? I think it's these things. Oh, that might be too many. I was like, I need 120, and I was looking at the right number, not the left number. Alright, there we go. Okay.
How's it going?
Do I need to consume them, or did they automatically go into the wallet? There they are. Okay. Alright. And Guardian. That part about ad-lib sounded scripted. The anger just rolls off the tongue. Alright. Okay. Alright, so first I gotta convert these, apparently. Oh, and then I gotta eat these. And then... 25. Console gaming! There we go. Wait. It didn't work. I think it gave me some back. Alright, so it refunded a bunch of... So I guess this character has all the ones from Cantha already. Alright. So we need... 14 more. Let's get that one. Nope, we've already got these two. Dude, what the hell? Maguma? What ones does this character need? There we go. Okay. Oh, I'm looming. Okay. Done here. Mike, have you seen the new Guild Wars 1 trailer? What? Guild Wars 1? No way. Yeah, we saw it.
May the Six watch over you.
Okay. Back in here. You should try POF and hot points. Try core. That's fine, we got it. What's better, Guild Wars 2 or oatmeal cookies? Guild Wars 2, but if you had raisins to those cookies, I'm gonna have a tough time choosing. Alright. Where's that build? Alright. Guy looking down, guy looking up, guy looking at you. Okay. Guy with heels behind him. Guy drooling. And situational. Okay. Select utilities based on the encounter. Alright, what do we got? Hold the line, protection. There he is. Bane for Defiance, Sanctuary for Defiance, Advance for Aegis, Stalwart stands for Aegis and Ally Stunbreak. Stand your ground for stability. Feel My Wrath for quickness, fury, super speed, statement of courage, heals passively, can be used for stability. Daring Advance traps enemies in area briefly, can be used for mobility. Look, why do you think ANET don't buff staff elementalists? You know what you did. Okay. Alright. Oh my god, I've got a lamp. Lamp! Wait. I can't turn and look at it. Does he know he has a lamp? He can never have it in his field of view. What if he doesn't know it's there and it's just always creeping on him? Mirrors exist? Yeah, but then it could just shift behind you. Do you like the lamp? The lamp saved me in Visage. In Visage, whenever your character started going too insane, you just needed to find a source of light and look at it. So, like, anytime we'd be going insane, we'd be like we would just take, like, we'd go up to something like, lamp! And just, like, shove our face right into the light bulb. So I always remember that anytime I need that. Okay. Alright, what's the deal here? Alright, how do I play this? Okay. First, let's read what the build told me to bring. Gain vigor at the end of a dodge roll. Create a symbol that gives prot to you and your allies when you use a healing skill. The end of your dodge roll heals allies. Grant might to nearby allies when you critically strike. Your Virtue Skill 2 passive also regenerates endurance. Symbols are improved and heal allies. Virtues apply boons to allies when activated. Deal increased strike damage for each boon on you. Consecrations gain increased duration. Gain resolution when you activate a virtue. Resolution you grant has increased duration. Mighty Blow becomes Glacial Blow. Wait, what? Heal when you disable, immobilize, or chill a foe. Oh, I was like, why are we taking Glacial Blow? We're not using Hammer. Okay, that's the second part. Gain condition damage based on your vitality. Virtues gain reduced recharge. The active effect of Virtue Skill 3 breaks stun and grants stability to nearby allies. Its passive effect gains a shorter interval. I'll need to read the virtues too. Luminary. Blah, 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 stand skills. Refresh the duration of your Luminary's blessing and trigger its healing when you exit Radiant Forge. Gain vitality. Grant Luminary's blessing to allies when you equip a radiant weapon. Luminary's blessing. Reduced incoming strike damage. Heal when this expires. Healing will also occur if this effect is reapplied while still active. Damage reduced 10%. Radius 300. That is a small range, but that is very powerful. So keep in mind, protection is already reducing the damage the party is taking by 33%. And this is 10 more. I don't know if that's additive or multiplicative, but that's still huge. That's a buff that other supports aren't doing. Grant boons to nearby allies when you equip a radiant weapon. So that's your alacrity. 600 radius. Gain a bonus based on your equipped radiant weapon. This bonus lingers for a period of time after exiting Radiant Forge. Damage reduced 10%. Let's see. Hammer is 10% damage. Staff is 15% healing to others. Sword is 33% movement speed. Shield is reduced incoming strike damage from nearby enemies. Illuminating Inspiration. Reduce the recharge of your virtue skills when you equip a radiant weapon. Okay. Alright. So, I do not know the things here. Radiant Justice. Virtue. Burn foes every few seconds. Activate. Gain quickness. The next time you use Dazzling Hammer, it creates a delayed secondary impact. Alright. Radiant Resolve. Regenerate health. Heal yourself and nearby allies when granting Light Aura. The next time you use Luminous Staff, it heals allies and grants them regen. Okay. Radiant Courage. Gain Aegis periodically. Grant Aegis, Resistance, and Luminary's Blessing to yourself and nearby allies. The next time you use Gleaming Blade, it deals increased damage and immobilizes enemies. The next time you use Radiant Bulwark, it grants Barrier to nearby allies. Okay. Alright. They changed it a few years back. All damage reduction is multiplicative. That sounds normal for games. Okay. Once again, Guardian gets the best stuff for instances. Well, it's just this right here. This whole party takes 10% less damage. That is unique to Luminary. I can't think of anything that Paragon or Troubadour or Ritualist has that's like a buff that the others don't have. Now, I mean, they have like some unique mechanics, right? Like Ritualist has Zinray's weapon or Weapon of Warding, things like that. But this has 10% DR. And honestly, I like that. I like that the healers have some things that are different. For example, Tempest, or I should say Heal Ellie with water because of Soothing Mist, they have 2 heal over times on the party. Most healers don't. Most healers have 1, regeneration. Water Ellie can have Soothing Mist plus regen. I wish that more healers had like one little niche thing that the others don't have. Doesn't Troubadour give bonus stats to everyone or just themselves? I believe it's just themselves. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm open to that. But I think it's Troubadour gives boons. No. Troubadour has a special buff that increases stats. And they're asking if that's everyone. I think it's just themselves. Makes you miss how Mesmer was providing party with Chaos Armor and Mass, a unique defense layer. One of them is to all, rest is only himself, I think. Hang on. I don't want to swap characters and set up a Troubadour build, but I want to see... Let's see, Mook, have you seen the new video? If you mean Guild Wars Reforged, we read the news earlier and it looks awesome. Hang on. Alright, so this was the Troubadour. Let's see. I'm not sure if it would show it on here or if I would have to be in-game. I'm not sure which tooltip had the stat increase. I remember the stat increase. I'm just trying to find it. Instruments provide bonuses when playing in the background. Was that it? I don't know. I was under the impression that the stat bonuses from Troubadour were self-only. Because otherwise, they would... I mean, it was like 20% increase to stats, right? If it was everyone, like, we would only be using Troubadours. Do you think that that was the project they hired people for and Guild Wars 3 theories will finally die out? The main reason for the Guild Wars 3 theories, well, okay, there was a couple of reasons, but the thing that you're referring to was that they had a page on their website that they were hiring someone with experience in Unreal Engine to help develop a new MMO in an existing gaming universe that already existed. So, let me ask you this. Do you think Guild Wars 1 is using Unreal Engine? I don't think so. Now, NCSoft has a lot of other properties, right? Like, there's Horizon Zero Dawn. There's the Aeon, Aeon, whatever, stuff like that. So, it could be for any of those as well. Or who knows? Maybe they're cooking up a Guild Wars 3 and 4 and 5 in the back room. I don't know. But I don't think this is the thing that would answer all the questions that people had. Are we talking Guild Wars 3 again? Every day. I've been playing the banjo the last couple days. I'm 90% sure it's just for yourself. The banjo. Okay. So... Alright, we got a lot of buttons here. Okay. I also need to read the spear skills. I haven't played Guardian Spear much. So, 1, send out a wave of light in front of you that damages enemies and heals allies. Okay. 2, Helio Charge. Charge forward with your spear, striking enemies and healing allies you pass through. Upon striking the enemy, your next spear stack is illuminated. Okay. And allies you pass through are healed for more and gain boons. Enemies you strike take bonus damage and are inflicted with conditions. Okay. Gleaming Disc. Spin around, striking enemies around you. After a short delay, a shockwave of light bursts forth from your position, damaging enemies and granting might to allies. Your next spear attack is illuminated when striking an enemy with the initial spin. That looks like a very small radius. Combo Finisher Whirl. The shockwave additionally deals more damage and inflicts conditions on enemies and grants boons to allies. I'm here for top-tier Luminary gameplay and I expect nothing less. You've come to the right place. Solar Storm. Throw a spear above the targeted point. The spear explodes, raining shards that damage enemies and remove condies from allies. Your next spear attack is illuminated if you are within range of your own shards. Okay. If it is illuminated, more shards are produced. Removing conditions from allies also heals them. And 5, Symbol of Luminance. Places the Symbol of Luminance on the ground, knocking back enemies on the initial cast. While active, the symbol grants boons to allies and inflicts conditions on enemies. While standing within the symbol, your spear attacks are automatically illuminated and do not consume the illuminated effect when used. While the symbol is active, all other spear skills are illuminated, even if you move out of the range of the symbol. Okay. Alright, and then Steek. I know about Line of Warding, very popular in World v. World. Empower is the thing where he pole dances and does some boons. 3 is Swiftness symbol. 2 is like a little healing blast. And then 1 is he throws light bulbs. Okay. Alright. He does bolt it, yeah. Who wants some heals? Okay. How do I play this? Let me see. When in Spear, start and end each visit with an illuminated gleaming disc for might and fury. Alright, so like 5-3. Okay. Only the Asura pole dances? Only the Asura is fabulous. When in Staff, cast Empower once each visit to overlap with Might applications from Spear. Whenever Enter Radiant Forge is available, enter it and use Hammer, Staff, and then use Restorative Glow if necessary for group healing. Alright. Hammer, Staff, and then so 2, 3, 3. Okay. Why the Hammer? Why am I using Hammer? Oh, it does boons to nearby allies. It does Might and Fury. Okay, I thought it was only CC for some reason. Okay. All right, so whenever Forge is up, we go 2, 3, 3. Pretty simple. All right. Cast symbols whenever they are available for sustained healing. Cast Resolute Stance for a large burst of healing and cleanse. Enter a stance that heals when you remove conditions from yourself, then heal nearby allies and remove conditions from them. Okay. Alright. Hold the line off cooldown. For Prot and Regen. Okay. Virtue of Justice and Virtue of Resolve off cooldown. F1 and F2. Use Courage for group Aegis. And Stability. Chat, look at that. You see that tooltip? That's more utility than the entire Weaver class. Opener. Start and Spear. Symbol of Luminance Gleaming Disc. Hold the line Radiant Justice, Radiant Resolve. Okay, hold on. I need something to bonk on. Let's see. Spawn a golem. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, this is just for practice. All right, so we start Spear. So, Luminance Disc. All right, so we're going to go 5, 3. Hold the line. Radiant Justice, Radiant Resolve. All right, so that's F1 and F2. Enter Forge. 2, 3, 3. And then end the Forge. Weapon swap. Symbol is 3, and then empower. We pole dance. Okay, so that's the opener. All right. 5, 3. Da 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 da. I didn't need to do that. Okay, all right. Look at those boons, chat. I've been playing this class like 2 seconds. Look at all those boons. Oh, staff's still on cooldown. All but one. Look, we'll get there when we get there, okay? Okay. Alright. Got the gist of it. Got the gist of it. Okay. How dare you be so right on main Muck? Muck's still hating on Weaver. Look, I want to say again. It's not that I hate Weaver. It's that ArenaNet hates Elementalists. And I'm just shining a light on the problem. And I'm hoping if I turn the light bulb up bright enough, that they'll be like, oh shoot, this isn't fair to LE players. We should fix this. But so far, my efforts have been in vain. It's not that I hate LE players. It's that I don't understand why they do this to themselves. Let's see. Okay. Might sources. Gleaming Disc. Use twice each visit to Spear while illuminated. Area of effect 300 radius. Empower once each visit. Dazzling Hammer. Don't delay this skill. Narrow overcap. Empowering Might whenever landing a critical hit. Radiant Justice. Use off cooldown. Recharged by Enter Radiant Forge skills. So F1 and F2 off cooldown. Bro, good lord. Look at this. Look at this. There's so many boon sources. That's crazy. So your Alacrity comes from Dazzling Hammer, Luminous Staff, Gleaming Blade, Radiant Bulwark. Your Fury comes from Gleaming Disc, Dazzling Hammer, and Feel My Wrath. Your Swiftness comes from Symbol of Swiftness. Regen comes from Hold the Line, Radiant Resolve, and Luminous Staff Empowered. Protection comes from Hold the Line, Radiant Courage, and Luminous Staff. Resolution comes from Luminous Staff. Resistance comes from Radiant Courage and Effulgent Stance. I'm not using that right now. Aegis comes from Radiant Courage, Radiant Bulwark, Advance, and Stalwart Stance. Stability comes from Radiant Courage, Stand Your Ground, Valorous Wrath. Quickness from Feel My Wrath. Ow. Skimming, just skimming, just skimming. Okay. Woo. All right. This is a lot. As always, Guardian's got a very powerful kit. It's just, it's a lot. It's a lot to remember. Okay. Full lack and some extra quickness. Well, the extra quickness comes from Feel My Wrath, which would be 6 seconds every 30. Or like you could bring something else. Like Feel My Wrath is quickness, some fury, and some super speed. Daring Advanced. This was the one that like it's a movement skill and it cages people, so you can hold people in place. Or if you wanted to be kind of lazy, you could bring Signet of Courage, which does passive healing on the party and also has stability when you click it. Since you have like 16k life, you could go full Givers, especially since Radiant Staff is directing some damage to you, or Honor GM bottom. I really think we need to keep rid of Persistence. I think this is going to be a lot of our healing output. I already have some Givers, just FYI. Let me see here. Where's my toughness? I've got 1449 toughness right now. I've got 3 pieces of Givers already. At Muck, the Guild Wars 1 Reforged will basically let anyone that doesn't own the game suddenly have the entire game. All campaigns that you have Eye of the North for $20. Yeah. So they said if you already own Guild Wars 1, you're going to get all of Reforged. So, like, let's say you own Guild Wars 1, but you didn't own Factions or Nightfall or Eye of the North, you would then get those with your thing. Wait, they didn't mention Eye of the North in the announcement, did they? Hold up, wait a minute. I don't think that they did. For non-Guild Wars 1 players, Eye of the North was an expansion in Guild Wars 1. In Guild Wars 2, it's a zone. In Guild Wars 1, it was an expansion and the zone. Yeah, it says Prophecies, Factions, and Nightfall. They mentioned, yeah, they did mention the Hall of Monuments, and that uses Eye of the North. Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna ask them. Hang on. Let me see if anyone's search Eye of the North. I'm gonna see if anybody's already asked before I do. Let's see. Wait, she said we took out the messaging on that. Wait, hold on. Refresh this page. No, it still has that there. Saw this mention of, let's see. Yeah, credit where credit's due. My chat saw this mention of Hall of Monuments, but Reforged does not say it includes Eye of the North. Does it include Eye of the North and it just is not mentioned? Or should this Hall of Monuments thing perhaps be removed if Eye of the North is not included? Okay. All right. All right, I have submitted the question to our ArenaNet overloads. Overlords. We'll see what happens. Yes, they're all Tempest mains. All right. I'm already really liking this kit, honestly. So let's do a couple things here. Let's see. Adjust self, add boons, utility, quickness. Okay. And adjust environment, pulsing damage, moderate. All right. So let's see. The 2 is the dash. All right. Let's see if I can remember all this. So charge on in there, and a doot, and a doot, 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 Like that. And then we weapon swap. And then we dance. And over that. It's kind of funny. I'm like doing the boon rotation, and I don't actually know what all buttons do the healing, but in just doing the boon rotation, I'm throwing a lot of heals out. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but there's a lot of boons and healing over here. Dude, are we doing permanent resolution? That's crazy. So permanent resolution on top of all the other boons. Oh, yo, this is really good. I'm seeing the appeal. So we've got all the usual boons. We have copious stability and Aegis on demand. And we have party takes 10% less damage. No one else does that. No one else does that. Okay? And we've also got, like, all of this. We got, what was it? Resistance? Resolution. We have, like, perma resolution. There's a lot of healers that don't have permanent resolution. Diddly doos that. That's right. Resolution is self-only. Is it? More for me. Grant Aegis, Resistance, and Luminary's blessings to yourself and nearby allies. Resistance is party one. I don't know what our uptime on Resistance is, though. Okay. So, if I don't take Advance, is my only source of Aegis then the F3? According to the guide I'm looking at, these 3 slots here are all flex slots, and I can put whatever there. Shield 5. Is it on the first tap? Okay. Good to know, thank you. You want to use the sword and forge to reduce the cooldown of virtues. Huh? Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to wrap my head around that. What's doing that? Reduce the recharge of your virtues when you equip a radiant weapon. Okay. Okay. I remember in the beta, for every weapon you equipped in Forge, it increased the cooldown of Forge. Did they got rid of that, right? I remember them talking about that, but I haven't played Guardian since then. Atmuk, will you tell me the secret of why almost all your characters are Asura and all wear a wizard's hat? Because I think it looks cute, that's all. Like, you know the concept of just, like, little dude, oversized, big wizard hat? Like, the guy from Final Fantasy, Vigar from League of Legends? I just like that shtick. I think it maxed out to 9 seconds. Using one weapon is 5, 2 or more is 10. Okay. So you're all, by using hammer and, okay, hang on a sec. So if I do hammer, staff, leave, it's 9. Alright. So if I do hammer, staff, sword, it's still 9. Okay. So it's not really hurting me much to throw the sword in there. And the second click of the staff is heal and Condi cleanse, so you just do that if you need to, but you don't have to. Currently, you are not giving Vigor. If you want to also grant Vigor, you would need to change one of your weapons to Longbow. And what? Longbow 4 is 100% vigor uptime. You probably won't use this, but you can mention it in your video at the end. And, I hadn't even noticed that vigor was missing. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, so, on that topic, hold on, chat. Talking about how I like characters with big wizard hats. This is, hang on a sec. Open link. Okay, here we go. This was a meme that I edited a long time ago just for, like, screwing around on our Discord. There you go. Yeah, I'm looking at snow crows. Yeah, vigor is nowhere to be found. No big hat Logan. Let's see. Too Many Else says, very small YouTuber channel named Dreamy made a pretty good intro to Luminary build video recently. Gave her a shout out because she's small and newish. Oh, okay. Zion says, does anyone have like an outline or list of anything or everything there is to do at 80? I've been trying to make one and have been struggling. Zion, I have a video called I Just Hit Level 80, Now What Do I Do? And I'm going to recommend that video to you now. Let's see. Bottom middle is a cat with magical powers. It's a meme. Don't overthink it. It's a meme. Every time someone says if Mux saw the Guild Wars news, he should alt tab and speed read the post. Every single time. You're saying you really like Detective Rama? Detective Rama? Oh, no, he didn't have a wizard hat. He just had a hat.
Welcome. Feel free to approach
Okay,
the
hang on.
console and begin combat.
So, let's
If you have any
see.
questions, I'm all ears.
Effulgent. Grant barrier and light aura to nearby allies. Then enter a stance that charges up a burst of light when striking or struck by enemies. The burst of light dazes enemies if fully charged. Maybe swap out Advance for Effulgent, just for the fat emergency barrier? What's the range on it? Ooh, it does not say the range for nearby allies. Okay. Wait, what CC do I have? Staff 5. Spear 5. And the Hammer of Light. Okay. Mug, if you leave the forge on staff, does the stance give more barrier? If you leave the forge on staff, it gives 4208, which is the same as what it says. Shield is also 400 CC. Oh, you have to double tap it. It's like a bash. Okay, got it. Alright. Adjust self. Wait, no, not self. Adjust environment. Turn this off. Turn this back on. Extremely threatening. This is dangerous. Alright. Alright, this is kind of scary, but we're holding on, and I have not yet used the emergency buttons yet. Yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. And I still haven't used my healing skill, and I haven't used Effulgent stance, which I have on the bar. Okay, hang on. Self-stats, so... Currently doing like 2,500 DPS. Not bad. That's 2.5 times Paragon. And enough healing to sit in an extreme. If you're in Radiant mode, use 3, then pressing 1 heal each time you press it. Oh, you talking about this? I mean, that's not a lot of healing, but yes. I don't know that I'd want to just camp that. Here, hang on a second. I'll get into that situation again, and then I'll try that. Hang on, so... da 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 and this. Hey, Noxxi, just a second. Life is going down. Yeah, it's not a strong enough heal to just sit there and camp that. But, good to know. Okay. Alright, yo, Monk, could you look at my message in our Discord? Just need a quick reply on that to know ahead of things. Okay, just a second. Why don't I have a notification for that Discord? Yeah, sure. That's fine. That's fine with me. Let's see. Tokizo said, just so that you are aware, Virtue's trait line 322 is another way for passive healing besides your regen. An elite skill in fights where you don't need the Mega F3 and you're spreading a lot. Thank you. Sure. Virtue's 322. Hang on. Activating Virtue Skill 2 removes conditions from nearby allies. Virtue Skill 2's passive effect is stronger. So if I do... Wait, question. I have a question for the Guardians. If I am like this, and my F2 is on cooldown, is the passive still healing? If it's 322 and the F2 is on cooldown, does it heal? No, that's only on Firebrand. Not on you, but on allies, yes. So even if F2 is on cooldown, this gives your party the benefit of the F2? Just you don't have it? The trade-off is we no longer do a heal when we do the hammer hit. And... read the traits. I am reading the traits. I'm trying to interpret the traits. And we lose the... I mean, you could get stability from, like, stand your ground or something. But... interesting. Because, I mean, if this hits the team, that's going to be more healing to the team than this trait is. Because this trait is just heal when you disable, immobilize, or chill. This is heal every 3 seconds. So this is going to provide more healing to the party than that is. Then this is Virtue Skill 2 removes conditions from nearby allies. So this we're hitting the F2 a lot. So this is going to be a lot of condition cleanse for allies. The main thing is we are losing the stun break and stability on the F3. But if I've got stand your ground, I could just use that for stability. I personally prefer X2X for extra Condi cleanse. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I see it. Test it outside the room. There's an icon on other people if you stand next to them. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. All right, I was checking to see if I'd gotten a response on my question to ANET, but no, I haven't yet. Muck, no, feel my wrath. If you're, I mean, I'm keeping up Fury without it, aren't I? So, keeping Feel My Wrath for the 6 seconds of quickness and the 3 seconds of super speed feels kind of like a waste. Let's see, Gleaming Disc is a lot of Fury uptime, and Dazzling Hammer. Yeah, Dazzling Hammer and Dazzling Hammer and Gleaming Disc is 100% Fury uptime. So if I bring Feel My Wrath, it's just 6 seconds of quickness and 3 seconds of super speed. Feel My Wrath gives you quickness. Well, yeah, but for a few seconds, but you're going to be grouped with someone else that gives you quickness. On Honor, wouldn't it be better to change the last trait from 2 to 3 for increase how much you heal others? Symbols improve and heal allies. Gain increased vitality. Healing others is improved based on a percentage of vitality. We're doing a lot of symbols. I feel like this is going to be more healing to others overall, but I haven't tested them both. Yes, the second virtue keeps up on allies even if you use it. Okay. It's best for personal quickness like the F1. Okay. Maybe while I'm learning, use the Signet because it's easier, and then maybe Feel My Wrath later. But I certainly don't feel like I need more quickness when this is a build meant to be grouped with someone else who's providing you quickness.
Begin combat testing. If you have any inquiries, come speak to me.
Personal boons really don't matter in group play. Yeah. What about the healing ability? I use the Signet just because I didn't like any of the others. Well, the Signet does passive healing around you. But you can activate it to do a bunch of healing plus stability. Hold on, wait, does that say 1 second stability? Oh, it's a bunch of rapid applications of 1 second stability. Okay, so it's 1 second of stability back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Okay. Wow, that's pretty nice. What about the healing thing? I meant the Signet of Resolve. What? Save Resolve. Remove a condition from yourself or heal yourself and remove conditions. Well, that just heals yourself, not the team. Resolute Stance heals the whole party. Like, a really, really big amount, too. Let's see. ArenaNet just came out with a new video, Guild Wars Reforged. Yeah, we saw it. We saw it. I'll do a separate video with my going over it later. I don't have it. Where's it from? The Signet of Courage? Wait, what? A Signet... Oh, sorry. Resolute Stance? Resolute Stance is from Luminary, the new class in Visions of Eternity. So you have to have Luminary unlocked for that to show up. Cam focus? Yeah, it's fine. Sorry, it took me a second to realize what you were asking. Alright. Okay. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Alright, respawn previous column. Mike, do you want to test the longbow for vigor? You're not interested. I'm really not. Like, the longbow is not really a healing weapon, right? It's mostly damage. So, yeah, vigor, great, but giving up my ability to heal with staff or heal with spear just to give vigor, I feel like that's not worth. Oh, didn't mean to use that there. Little misclick. Where RTPS? Bottom right down here. Use more T skill? I don't know. I haven't felt like I needed to yet. But yeah, I certainly could. It's a shame that I myself am never really getting the passive healing from the F2. Because I've, like, always got it on cooldown. Okay. Alright, I think I've got the gist of it. Definitely a lot of stuff to work with here. Alright, a lot of stuff to work with. F3 to shield is also more barrier, right? Is it? The next time you use Bulwark, it grants barrier. Yes. Okay, so when you hit these buttons and they're like, the next time you use blah, 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 a secondary thing happens, how long do you have to do that? Because it doesn't give you, like, a buff or anything that gets consumed. Until next use. So if I slam all three of these, and then I hit... Here, hang on a sec. Do. There's the barrier. There's the thing. There's the shockwave. Okay, so yeah, I could have all three of them queued at once. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. There's no buff or any tracking. I mean, if it lasts a really long time, then you certainly don't need it clogging up your buff bar, and that's totally fine with me. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm trying to leave combat. Remove current golem. Alright. Hitting F2, then staff and forge gives a dummy amount of heals. So, dummy heals. So hitting hammer first defeats that. Hitting F2, then staff and forge. Hitting hammer first defeats that. Well, no, I don't think it does. Because, here, hang on a sec. So the F3 makes the shield do barrier, right? So I'm gonna do F3 first, then F1, then go into the thing, do the hammer first, then do the shield. We still got the barrier. So I did next shield does barrier, then I did hammer, like buff hammer, then I consumed the hammer buff, then I consumed the shield buff, and it still worked. So it seems like it's okay to to do them in whatever order you want. You'll still get all the buffs consumed. Don't forget to change the utility for projectile block if needed. Okay, so if I'm on a fight where we need projectile block, that is Wall of Reflection or Sanctuary or is there anything else? Is there anything else I'm overlooking? Shield Spirit Weapon? No? Oh, Spirit Weapon. Sorry. I was thinking Flame Weapon. Okay. So let me ask you guys that have played Luminary for a bit. Let's say you're doing Dagda. You're doing the Cosmic Observatory strike mission. And, you know, she does a lot of projectiles. What's your favorite block that you would bring? Do you prefer Shield of the Avenger? Do you prefer Wall of Reflection? Do you just throw Sanctuary on top of her head? What's your favorite? Sanctuary, Wall, Sanctuary, Feedback. That's the wrong class. Wall. I'm lazy, so Sanctuary. I mean, I guess Sanctuary, well, assuming 40-second cooldown is long enough, that also gives you a big CC for when you need it. Sank is also a CC or heal. Okay. Alright. Read through the Radiant Staff skills. You also redirect damage to you. Don't know if you're aware. Redirect a percentage of their incoming strike damage to you. It says damage reduced 10%. Damage redirection will end if you go below 50% health. Oh, that's fine. That's totally fine. Dude, does anyone remember the old Bulwark gyro? Hold on, let me paint the picture here. So Scrapper, you know, has their little gyros, right? Bulwark gyro is the one that gives the barrier. It used to be a bit different. It used to, when you use it, percentage of incoming strike damage on all nearby allies went to you. But it never turned off. It didn't have that line of if you go below 50% health, it stops. So you'd be like on Bone Skinner, and you would do Bulwark Gyro, and then some guy to your right would stand in a circle because he didn't move out of it, and you would explode. And you're like, damn it, Billy! And he's like, what do you mean? You're the one who died. You get good. I'm like, oh my god. And it's like, you needed to be doing gyros like crazy at the time to keep quickness up, but you do it at the wrong moment, someone else would kill you. Okay. Alright. Hang on. I gotta... There's so many flashy effects on my character. Let's see. What do we have on us right now? The blue flames under our feet. Is that Luminary? The shield on my arm is Aegis. The spears behind me is Clobjorn. The lamp is Luminary. What is this? That's your elite? Oh, wow. That's just always there? I never knew that. How very strange. Alright. Hold on, chat. Fashion. That's pretty simple. Fun fact, I don't know if you guys know this. If you have the Clob Jarny Gear Legendary Spear, you can put it for your underwater weapon, and then when you're fighting on land with completely different weapons, not even spear, you'll still see Clobjorn executions. If you just like the animation of the execute. Muck, have you seen or talked about Guild Wars Reforged? Yes. Rewind the stream a little bit if you want to see us talk about. Did you change the trait and virtues trait line to what you want to do? Yeah, I think so. So my F3 is currently not stability, but I've got stand your ground for when we need stability. Dude, the fact that stand your ground is not... It's a 24-second cooldown. That's pretty short. 2, 5 stacks of stab. Not 1 like Tempest or Druid. 3, 12-second duration. I am used to playing healers that fart out 1 stability with a 5-second duration with like a 30-second cooldown. Like, just this skill alone is insane. And this used to be 10-man. They nerfed it. This used to be 10-man stab. And it's still all this, though. Do you have to have 2 Clobjorn if you want to equip it underwater and as a normal weapon? Yes, you would. You would have to have 2. Would you like some stab with your stab? Yeah. Look at Valorous stance. What is that under? Enter a stance that causes you to heal allies when you grant them boons, then grant boons to nearby allies. 25-second cooldown. 8 seconds stability. 5 stacks. So it's almost stand your ground. But it also does a very, very tiny amount of healing and some prot. Stand your ground's also a stun break, though, so... Okay, question. The stun break on stand your ground, is that self only or full party? The answer's party, self, party. Never changed, chat. I like advance personally. Yeah, advance has multiple charges of Aegis, but I'm looking at stability stuff right now. Game update notes just posted. Oh boy. Do you have a link? Shoot me a link. You can put it in the chat. It's whatever you want to believe. Whatever you want to believe. I believe in the heart of the cards. That is not where I clicked. What the hell? Maybe only use this on flat areas. People probably already mentioned me Guild Wars 1 Reforged announced. Nope, nobody told me. Alright, let's see. Guild Wars 2 news. Guild Wars 2 patch notes. November 18th. Let's see. Luminary has been deleted. Oh, shoot. I guess we're done with this character. Okay, seriously, though. This is a few pages. Oh, boy, this is a few pages. Oh, man, we're going to be busy today. We are going to be busy. Here, just to show you guys. So, this is the top of the notes. Bro, what? All this is personal story, good lord. Wait. Ground targeted skills can no longer be cast with snap ground target option enabled if the targets are off screen or behind it. No! Okay, hold on. That is a nerf to something I did years ago. 1 second. Where is the video? Okay. Where is it? Okay, right here. Hang on. Okay. So right here, see there's a trebuchet up there? Noxxi edited this. I turned on snap targeting. And then I started barraging the trebuchet from outside the wall, right? So I was on one side of the wall, and I kept snap targeting barrage to kill a guy firing a trebuchet on the other side of a base. Dude, when did I upload this video? This was 4 years ago. They're nerfing this after 4 years. Oh my god. That's funny. Did anything else happen that suddenly made this more of a problem, or is it just like it's been that long? Babyface? Yeah, 4 years ago, babyface. More like worse camera. Ellie had familiar, I think. Oh god, there's more. Oh man. Okay. Alright, I was joking when I lied out. Let's log back in. ArenaNet slowly progressing through your memes. Ranger revives getting nerfed. Oh man, what? Hold on. We're gonna go through all this. Spirit of Nature. Oh, it's in World v World. Oh, I don't care. So, Spirit of Nature revives 3 targets now, down from 5. Wait. Bro, that's it? They're doing almost nothing to Ritualists. I am stunned by that. Like, yo, guys, I think Rit might be my favorite class to play right now, right? So, like, this is kind of me saying nerf my main, and I realize that. It needs it. It is unhinged right now. Rit's balanced, what do you mean? Yeah, okay. Alright. Give me a minute, chat. I am going to get a drink, and then we will go over the news, and then we will try to play Luminary. One by one. Okay. Alright. Chair stream. Yeah. Alright. Wait, what did Eddie just link? What's this? A jukebox has been added to Pub Canuck. Thank God. Alright. Okay. Let's go over this. Alright. After that, there's Guild Wars Reforged. We already went over Reforged earlier. That'll be a separate video. Alright, chat. Let's go over today's release notes. Here we go. Okay, hello Guild Wars 2 gamers, Mukluk here. Today is Tuesday, November 18th, and we've got some Guild Wars 2 news. So, jumping into it. Note to users of third-party programs, your add-ons might be broken. Moving on. Open World. General changes. Rewards obtained from obscured chests and Seer Magic Mirror challenges in Kastora have been rebalanced. I'm guessing they're going down. The amount of ethereal key charges awarded for completing a Seer Magic Mirror challenge has been reduced. Okay, so it doesn't say exactly the rewards. All right, so really quickly, for anyone who hasn't seen these, in Kastora, if you've got all the new masteries, you occasionally see these big mirrors. You interact with the mirror, there's a mini game, it's very simple, it's like a mobile game. After you finish the mobile game, a chest spawns next to you. That chest is already great. You can just park a character there, log in, do the mirror, open the box, and log out and be happy. But that also reveals some invisible chests nearby, and you can go around and hit all of those. So you can hit a mirror, hit some invisible chests, hit a mirror, hit some chests, hit a mirror, and some people in the community have already made like pathing modules for it and maps and stuff like that. Each box is giving out a stupid amount of unidentified items. To the point where identifying and salvaging and selling these things have produced a massive influx of globs of ectoplasm in the community, which the result of that is the prices of ectos have gone down. If they, like, I'm not surprised they're nerfing the loot from these, because it is a bonkers amount of loot that you get from these. However, if they are going to do that, you know what, hold on, I might actually still have a picture here. Let me see if I still have it. And it looks like I don't have it on demand. Okay, disregard that. Someone had sent me a picture recently of how much loot they got from just like one lap through all the mirrors. I was seeing if I still had it, but I can't find it quickly. Anyway, so I'm not surprised they're nerfing it. What we don't know is how much they're nerfing it. Some people will need to do some before and after comparisons to see, and over the next week, this might make the price of ectos go back up. And I say might, as this is just guesswork. So if they've reduced how much stuff is dropping, the price of ectos might go back up as a direct result of that. We will see. Okay. Fixed an issue that allowed players to view an invisible player's in-game location by hovering over their name in the friend list. Fixed an issue that prevented some skills from being used on world bosses, resulting in line-of-sight errors. Fixed an issue that prevented the Absolution releases seasonal items from appearing in the Wizard's Vault Legacy reward shop. Updated models of some Extra Life donor pet NPCs. This is actually pretty cool. Let's see, do I still have that tab open? I do. So, Extra Life is the charity event that they're doing, and Joe here works at ArenaNet, and if you donate $50 to the charity through Joe, he adds your pet into the game. Very cool thing. And so, like, for example, if I wanted to add Chip into the game, there's like 3 different choices of like an orange tabby. I could just send him, like, you know, do a dono and say orange tabby and say Chip. And somewhere in the game next year, I believe, that pet would appear. It's like in a certain location, and you have to have the April Fool's tonic imbibed to be able to see it. But there's like an island with like 1,000 pets on it from all the people that have donated. I'll include a link to that down below if anyone's interested in that. And also the money goes to a good cause. So they fixed something with that. Fixed an Eternity Mastery, Visions of Eternity Mastery points now use the correct artwork on the map and the compass. Fixed an incorrect description of how to unlock the Castoran Survivalist Mastery. Fixed an issue that prevented the jukebox from appearing in the Applied Development Lab for Asura characters. I'm glad they got that fixed. Shipwreck Strand. Fixed an issue that prevented crabs from appearing frequently enough in the guide crabs to the area near Sharpclaw to help him make an offering event. I only did that event twice. I didn't see that problem, but I guess someone was having an issue there. Fixed an issue that caused a Tier 1 Rift to be overscaled due to proximity to Dark Leviathan Waypoint. Fixed an issue that allowed characters under level 80 to access Shipwreck Strand from the portal in Lion's Arch. Fixed an issue that caused, by the way, really quickly here, if any of you have done the Visions of Eternity story on one character and you want to bring your alts there, if you didn't already know, there is a portal in Lion's Arch that makes that a little easier. It is right here in the center of the Eastern Ward, if that is of interest to you. Okay, back to it. Fixed an issue that caused Chesh Steelmine to incorrectly display an event marker rather than a conversation marker. Fixed an issue that caused Help the Astral Ward Researcher Lysios Hunt Down and Destroy Inquest Experimental Creatures event to have inconsistent broadcast area. Fixed an issue that caused Recover Valuables Stolen from Freebooter's Backpack to collide with Player Model. Fixed an issue that caused some of the animals in the Help Undercover Astral Ward Operative Myrick Destroy Inquest Consoles and Free Captured Animals event to collide with the cage's edge. Fixed an issue that caused introductory communication calls from the Hammerheart Rumble meta event to interrupt story voice lines. I have seen that one. I've had 2 or 3 people just talking over each other. Fixed an issue that caused the success marker to linger if it was applied to a player when the Help Astral Ward Operative Ashton Locate and Defuse Inquest Landmines event finished. Fixed an issue that allowed players' summons to damage the large axes in the Booter's Path mini-dungeon. What? The big swinging axe blades that look like they're straight out of Dark Souls? You could hit them? Dude, I will say this. The hit boxes on those axes is stupid. Anyone who watched my video guide on how to get the legendary rebreather, there's a lot of comments that are like, dude, what's with those axes? I finally had to just pop stability and just charge through it. It was silly. They were hitting me from quite a distance away. Fixed an issue that caused the Rescue the Sick Castaways and Wreak Havoc at Grog Slingers to stop the staff from serving poison drinks event to award the Swearing Off the Poison achievement even if the event failed. Fixed an issue that caused some friendly crabs to float. Fixed an issue that prevented the friendly NPCs and root out traps and defeat freebooters to help the Hull Gardeners prepare for a siege. Hello. Chip says hi. Event from reappearing after completion of the Hammer Heart Rumble meta event. Wait, what? Okay. Okay, I had to process that. Fixed an issue that prevented players who picked up a rental fishing rod while in combat from dropping it again. Let's see. Starlit wheel changes. Sorry, Chip is distracting me. Increase the amount of real Gwildwell that appear in the Secrets of the Wheeled meta event. Fixed an issue that caused the boss camera to disappear during the Secrets of the Wheeled meta. Fixed an issue that sometimes prevented Gwillian from appearing in its nest after the Secrets of the Wheeled meta event. Balance adjustments have been made to the Destroy the Northern Inquest Excavator, Destroy the Eastern Inquest Excavator, and Destroy the Southern Inquest Excavator portions of the Secrets of the Wheeled meta event. Okay, so I don't know yet what they did here. In that moment of the event, there are the 3 big machines, and they are rotating, and you can only hit them on the weak side, so you have to rotate around them at the same time. I would say, in my own... Like, one, they could leave it and it'd be fine. I have not seen a meta of that fail. I'm sure it has at some point, but I've not seen one of those fail. I will say it is annoying, and it's not fun if you're not playing a class with, like, a lot of stability. Because they constantly knock you around. They knock you back, they pull you in, they spin you around, they put you on a spin cycle. It is very irritating on some characters because of just how much they just knock you all over the place like a pinball. So I wouldn't mind if they reduce the amount of times that, or how often it CCs you. But that's just me. And, I definitely could just see people getting good. The Suwon, although Suwon was nerfed a lot, it was still very challenging. But a lot of people have improved a lot over time. So I'm curious what they did here. Maybe they nerfed the hit points. Maybe they made it rotate slower. Maybe they nerfed the CC. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Adjusted the pacing of the Escort Explorer Trigvi as he follows the Seer Ghost event. Added additional communication upon successful completion of the Help Lucanus Wildraiser with the Siege Cannons event. Adjusted the name of the Great Choya Race event to better communicate where the event takes place. Mount changes. Skimmer. Fixed an issue that occasionally prevented the skimmer from swimming backward underwater. I've never tried that. Slipstream boost, increase the cooldown from 15 to 25 seconds. No! Are they nerfing the flight? Hang on a second. Okay, hold on. I am going to show you guys something dirty. If any of you didn't know about this. Alright, so get on your skimmer, hit, start flying, hit 2, and spam tap the spacebar. If any of you didn't know about this, you can cross some entire zones doing this. Now, Slipstream Boost, the patch hasn't hit me yet. It has a 15-second cooldown. So the Slipstream Boost just came off cooldown right when it was wearing off. So I just crossed all of Lion's Arch from south to north, okay? And now we're gonna smash it to the wall. All right, so it is the new best flying mount. Now, you could still cross a lot of distance with this thing, but I don't think they intended it to replace everything. So, not really surprised. But there you go. There's a silly trick if you want to just be like, I want to go that way, and there's a mountain in the way. Skimmer. All right. Items. Updated the Emergent Metamorphosis Glider Skins text. Fixed an issue that caused some items in the Emergent Metamorphosis collection to be missing icons. Fixed an issue that caused the mini Gwildel to be smaller than intended. Yo, he's cold. Give him a break. Fixed an issue that caused Seer Enchanted Greatsword to be worn incorrectly. Corrected the name of soundtrack single Janthier Wild's track 17, Blood and Stone. Mount Treats now properly award a mastery experience based on the current Homestead plot's expansion location. Fixed an issue that prevented some minis from being displayed at the correct size in the hero panel. Zoturic's bonus event item inventory in Lion's Arch has been updated with items from last year's bonus events. Homestead's Camosus Isle. A portal to Shipwreck Strand has been added. This portal can only be used if the player has completed the unscheduled departure story chapter. Okay, so what this is saying is if you've got you have a homestead, and then you moved your homestead to the Visions of Eternity homestead, that one, on the beach somewhere, there is now a portal that leads back to Shipwreck Strand, just like how the Janthier homestead had a portal that led to Lowland Shore. The Winter's Day gift tree has been relocated to the Treasure Chest Island. That is good. So the TLDR is right now, if you just use your homestead for farming, like I do, the new one, in Visions of Eternity, takes longer to farm than the old one, and there's a lot of small reasons for that. But basically, it takes longer to get to all the things to collect the resources. One of those reasons was the Winter's Day gift tree was in a bad spot. It took too long to get there. So glad they did that. Lumber nodes have been relocated closer to the mountain pond. Removed several superfluous cooking stations. Ridhai and Mechanist Nin have been relocated to the Treasure Chest Island. Fixed an issue that prevented wildlife from hiding and remaining hidden when the option to hide wildlife was enabled. Repositioned the basic and advanced cloth and leather racks in Black Lion Requisition Teams post. Repositioned the Hollow Scepter and the Water Pistol storage cases. Fixed an issue that caused the Jade Tech offensive and defensive protocols to remove themselves. I have like 3 jokes in mind, and I shouldn't say any of them. Relocated Mox and the Webby Hatchling to the area near the portals. Fixed an issue that caused some cats to wander into the ocean. You know what? We hate this island so much, we're gonna take our chances. Fractals. Added a confirmation step when commissioning food or utility services from the Cooking Golem and Sharpening Golem in Lion's Arch and Mistlock Sanctuary. That's good, because they charge you fractal relics or pristine fractal relics to do that. I'm glad that there's a Are You Sure button. World vs. World. Added a new matchmaking tab to the World v World UI that replaces World Restructuring Beta tab. This is a new location to select teams and battle guilds that should be more approachable for new players. Players without teams will be shown the matchmaking tab when opening the World v World UI. Removed the battle guild selection from the guild UI. Personal story changes. Okay. I don't want to read this out loud because I try very hard in my videos to avoid spoilers. So, I'm going to say this. If you have had any problems with the personal story, you can look to see if it's been fixed in this section. I don't want to accidentally spoil someone. So, we're going to just skim over that. As always, the link is in the description, and that's there if you want it. Alright. Did you have any problems with the personal story? The main problem I had was the thing with Pete in Chapter 2. You meet a guy named Pete, and if you try to continue doing the story before doing the skimmer collection he gives you, you get soft-locked. I'm wondering if they fixed that? Control F Pete. That's not related to this. Anyway, we'll see. Hopefully they fixed the soft lock thing. That was the only major problem I hit. Alright, profession skills. General. Ground targeted skills can no longer be cast with the snap ground target option enabled if their targets are off screen or behind an obstacle that hides them from the camera. Okay, so this is really funny because this was a kind of a meme video that Noxxi and I made 4 years ago. Arrow Kart World v World. Turning on snap target and killing a guy that is firing a trebuchet on the other side of a wall. So this has been in the game at least 4 years, where Rangers could use barrage to kill people firing siege equipment on the other side of structures. And I haven't played this build in a long time, but I'm sad to see that go. I'm kind of wondering if they just got to watching my videos from 4 years ago, or if something else is going on where someone else is abusing this in the same way right now. I don't know. But that is very funny to me, because that's been there for a while. Relic of Bloodstone. It's because of evokers. Someone in chat says it's because of evokers. Relic of Bloodstone. Increased duration of Bloodstone volatility from 8 to 10 seconds. Reduce the damage bonus from 10 to 7% in PvE. That'll be interesting. Relic of Bloodstone's quite good. Elementalist Dust Charge. Fixed an issue that allowed this skill to strike more times than intended when used by multiple players. Evoker. Fixed an issue that prevented voice lines from playing for several evoker skills. Rejuvenate. This skill now has a different icon depending on the player's selected familiar. Zap fixed an issue that allowed this skill to hit targets that were not in the player's line of sight. Elemental Balance. This trait will no longer recharge skills that began activating before entering the selected attunement. Specialized Elements fixed an issue that caused the player's attunement to sometimes swap to fire when switching maps. When in doubt, fire. All right, Engineer. Essence of... These are all shortbow skills. Okay. Animated Sand, Living Shadows, and Liquid Wrath shortbow skills on Engineer were nerfed in PvP. The power coefficients were nerfed. Flame Jet, reduced power coefficient per hit from 0.15 to 0.12 in World v World. Flame Blast, increased cooldown from 6 to 8 seconds and reduced the power coefficient from 1.3 to 1.1 in World v World. Napalm, I believe these three are all flamethrower. Napalm increased the cooldown from 25 to 30 seconds and reduced power coefficient per hit from 0.35 to 0.28 in World v World. Alright. Amalgam Liquid State is now usable underwater. Mixed feelings on that. We've got to find you turn to a liquid and it's like, oh no, I can't pull myself back together. You just start diluting. Guardian. Will Bender. Fixed an issue that caused Willbender flames to strike more times than intended when used by multiple players. Repose. Reduced the base healing from 2,500 to 1,600 in World v World and PvP. That's a substantial chunk. Luminary. Fixed an issue that prevented several Luminary skills from playing voice lines. Resolute Stance. Fixed an issue that caused the skill to heal downed allies. No healing downed allies for you, Resolute Stance. Mesmer. Ego Restoration. Fixed an issue that prevented this trait from working with Tale of the Second Scion. Necromancer Ritualist. Fixed an issue that prevented a number of writ skills from playing voice lines. Fixed an issue that caused some spirit attacks to track enemies that were in stealth. Lingering Spirits fixed an issue that caused the trait to continue to drain the player's life force while mounted. Yeah, that was kind of annoying in open world. If you're because that happened to me. If you're playing Writ, you dismount, you fight a few dudes for a quest, you summon your spirits, and your bar's draining, and then you mount. It immediately unsummons your spirits, but your bar keeps draining until it hits 0. So that's a nice open world fix there. However, I am surprised that that's it. Writ is probably my favorite class to play right now. I'm surprised that they didn't nerf it. Mighty Teapot especially found an amazing build on it with Zealots, where it's doing 12k heals per second, which keeps up with every one of the other healers, and 17k DPS at the same time. So it can keep up with healing with like a Paragon, but it does 17 times the Paragon damage. Refresh the page, there's more. Refresh. Well, there's more down here. I haven't gotten there yet. Let me see. Okay. Ranger. Spirit of Nature. Reduce the number of revivable targets from 5 to 3 in World v World. Gale Shot. Fixed an issue that prevented Cyclone Bow from being set to auto-attack underwater. Hawkeye. Fixed an issue that prevented this skill from being reflected properly. Mistral. The skill is now usable underwater. Perfect Storm, the skill is now usable underwater. Yes, but what about mech? Revenant, Banish Enchantment, fixed an issue that prevented Cosmic Wisdom from reducing the energy cost of the skill in PvP and World v World. Increase the recharge of using this skill with Cosmic Wisdom from 5 seconds to 10 in World v World. Does it do boons too? Yes. Yes, the Ritualist build in question does still supply all the boons. It keeps up with healers on healing and does 17k DPS. Conduit. Beguiling Haze increased the strike damage coefficient on initial skill use from 1.1 to 2.2 in PvE. The strike damage coefficient on follow-up strikes has been decreased from 1.1 to 0.6 in PvE. Twin Moon Sweep, which is Legendary Demon Stance, fixed an issue that caused the Shatter portion of this skill to interrupt the casting of other skills. Is this patch live now? It is going to be live very soon if it's not already. Let me see. Here, hang on a sec. I am going to distract you guys with bacon, and I am going to relog my game. Give me just a second. Typing in my passwords. Do not look behind the bacon. Some professional streamers have like a fancy screen where, you know, it's just like the whole thing's orange or something. And it's just like the chat and the camera. And I should probably do that. But right now, you got bacon. The bacon of obscurity. Yes, that's it. That's right. It's obscuring my password. The bacon of obscurity. Okay. I have finished downloading the patch, and it's logging back in now. Okay. And our DPS just broke. Fantastic. Okay. We're back to this. Wait. Bacon. Okay. Put the bacon away. All right. So, where were we? Thief Antiquary. Scrit Swipe. This skill now requires a line of sight check instead of a pathing check to be cast on enemies. The skill after cast has been reduced by 37.5%. Bountiful Theft fixed an issue that prevented Scrit Swipe from stealing Aegis from opponents properly while this trait was equipped. Warrior changes. Maiming Spear increased cooldown from 6 to 8 seconds, reduced the initial power coefficient from 0.8 to 0.7, and the aftershock power coefficient from 0.35 to 0.3 in World v World. Spear Marshal Support reduced power coefficient per hit slightly in World v World. Harrier's Toss reduced power coefficient per adrenaline level slightly in World v World. Yeah, Warriors, what have you been doing to people with your spear in World v World? You've been bullying folks? Warbanner reduced the number of revivable targets from 5 to 3 in World v World. Okay, so Warbanner is getting the same treatment that Spirit of Nature did. Phalanx Strength reduced the might duration from 5 to 3 seconds in World v World. Paragon Chant of Freedom. This skill will now break stuns for both caster and their allies. That's pretty nice. Chant of Freedom on Paragon is the button that it's the chant you need to use the least when you're playing support Paragon. So it's nice that it has some usage in niche situations. World Polish. A jukebox has been added to Pub Canuck. Thank God. This is definitely the #1 requested feature. General. Fixed an issue that caused achievement eligibility for the Not Even a Scratch achievement to still be visible after the associated event was finished. Fixed an issue that prevented the Rescue the Wavehawks from Freebooters' Cages and Escort Them to Safety event from starting again after Hammerheart Rumble. World Boss event finished. Personal story. Fixed an issue in the Fumbling in the Dark Lost Basilica story chapter that caused 2 of Isgarin's lines of dialogue to overlap. I think I remember that one. There was a few places where they just talked over themselves. Additional music has been added to the Unscheduled Departure story chapter. Items. The sound palette for the legendary Aqua Breather, Salacamorpha, has been extended. I didn't know it had sounds? Dude, I have the legendary rebreather. I made a guide on it. It took me the last week and a half. I didn't even realize it had sounds. I'm gonna have to go jump in a pool and test it. Profession Skills, Elementalist Evoker. Zap. Reduce the power coefficient from 0.29 to 0.15 in PvP. Hair's Agility, increased cooldown from 25 seconds to 30 in PvP. Enhanced Potency, lowered the critical strike chance bonus with Fury from 10% to 5% in PvP. Familiar's Prowess, reduced the hair damage bonus from 10% to 5% in PvP. Familiar's Focus, reduced the hair damage bonus from 20 to 15% in PvP. Mesmer Blade Leap. Muck, look at this. Another article. Oh my god. Okay, we'll get there when we get there. Mesmer Blade Leap. This skill now puts Returning Edge on a short cooldown to prevent accidental early reactivation. Troubadour Music Ducking now scales with the instrument volume slider. Troubadour Music Ducking? What? What's ducking? Okay, the way it was before, if you turned up the instrument volume slider, you turned up the Troubadour's own instrument sounds. But whether you had the instrument slider turned up or completely off, if you were in combat and you started playing an instrument, it muted all the other background music. So it was... They meant to say effing. I don't think they did. Quack. So I have no idea what they're meaning that they did with this. Ranger Gale Shot. Bluster. Reduce power coefficient per hit from 0.45 to 0.4 in PvP. Corey's Peril. Reduce power coefficient from 1.3 to 1.05 in PvP. Pelt. Reduce the power coefficient from 1.3 to 1.05 in PvP. Supersonic Arrow. Reduce power coefficient from 1.8 to 1.5 in PvP only. And lastly, Revenant Invoker's Rage no longer has an internal cooldown. I'm going to refresh again, see if there's anything else. And doesn't look like it at the moment. All right. Let me, hopefully Arc doesn't crash me. I'm trying to log back in here and check the usual stuff. Okay, so hang on. This other article, let me turn on dark mode on this one. Bring oceanic beauty to your home with the Underwater Homestead package. Watch on YouTube. All right, let's see what we got. For a second, I thought it was like buy his garden for your homestead. I was really confused. All right, so there's a new Conjured Doorway skin. Underwater Homestead package. Fish. Jellyfish. So you can get flying fish in your homestead. Calligrapher's weapon set. Wasn't this already? I feel like we saw this recently. Yeah, the weapons all have like old school ink pens on the end of them. They look cool, but I feel like we saw those recently. Okay, so there's that. All right, let's go back into the game here for a second. And do I have a black line? I don't. Okay, 1 second. I am going to swap to my ranger, and we will check all the usual stuff whenever we do a patch notes video, which is going to be the ticket vendor and the blackline chest vendor and the gem store. We'll check all three of those. Finally, Expedition 33 in my Guild Wars. Yes. Did we talk about Guild Wars 1 Reforged? Yes, and if you're watching me on YouTube in the future and you're watching this video, there is a separate video going out today about Guild Wars 1 Reforged. Definitely check that out if you're interested. Okay. All right, so here's the calligrapher's weapons. So this is on the ticket vendor for 1 ticket each. So all of them have like the ink behind them and have like the old school, this one like drips the ink. There you go. Poison dagger. There's ink in their veins. Our focus. Great sword. Hammer. Mace. Pistol. That's a weird one. Rifle. Scepter. Shield. Staff. Sword. I really like that. Torch. It's like a white. It's like a white light source. Warhorn and spear. There you go. All right, so that's the calligraphy stuff. The Claire Obscure weapons, yes. Okay, so next up, Blackline chest. We're gonna check this. I do this every patch. So that's how you get the doorway. A Surin Conjured Doorway is one of the uncommon things in the box right now. It's in the Black Lion chest. All right. Blazing Cape and Combo Glider. I think this was already in there. But so that's still in there. So yeah, the Asuran Conjured Doorway is in the uncommon chest. Okay. And Black Lion Trading Post. What do we got here? So, Underwater Homestead Package, 800 gems, and they've got all these nice pictures here and a video. I love that they started doing this. This is something like, this is an idea that I have seen in other games that I am very glad that they started doing in this game, which is these little preview videos. Like, I've played Path of Exile in the past, and, they've got a, gem store in their game, and they've got little preview videos for almost everything on the store, and I appreciate that. So, you got all of this cool stuff here. Feathered Inquest Armor Pack. This was a few days ago. That's not working right? Hang on. Okay. So, this is kind of a weird armor set, but it's like Hawkman. But that is in there as well. But I think the Homestead thing is the only change that, like, got just added. Hey, it's the guy from Yakuza. All right. Okay. I think that's everything. Let me double check. I'm going to refresh that patch note page one more time and see if they added anything else here. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. All right. That's everything I've got for now. So those are your patch notes for November 18th, 2025, and all the changes I have seen that they've added to the game. If you've got any questions, problems, thoughts, concerns, or comments about anything that you think I missed, please put them in the comments down below so other people can see them, and we will share information there. And cut. There we go, chat. It is done. Oh, man, I got 2 videos to make today. Whew. Okay. Dark Tide's new class got a trailer today as well. Oh my freaking god. All right, hang on a sec. Let's do all that. Let me turn the alerts back on. Give me just a minute. Yeah, I had a lot planned to go over today. There's the Horizon game that NCSoft is making. I was going to look at that too. I got to finish this Luminary test though before I run out of time, or we're going to have to push it back to tonight. I just got the Contra Doorway for my first key. Nice. Well, nice if you wanted it. I don't know if you wanted it. The calligraphy stuff was in the supply drop week 3, which dropped today. Gonna write you down. You know what that makes me think of is the Book of Grudges. For anyone here who doesn't know Warhammer Fantasy, the dwarves in that game have a literal system, a mechanic called grudges. And it'll be, dude, it'll be crazy stuff. Like, because, they're dwarves. They have a long lifespan, right? So they'll be like, oh, one time your great-great-great-great-grandfather bumped into me in the market and I still haven't been paid due. So we're going to come kill you now. And then literally, like, if they're angry at you, they just open this huge book and it's called the Book of Grudges. And you see them and they're like, boom! And they always slam it whenever they do a period. And so whenever they go to, like, collect on the grudges, they basically are, like, preparing for war, and then they're marching out. If no one knows what the Book of Grudges is, that's going into the book. Yeah. Have you talked about what's happening to Guild Wars 1? Yes, we talked about that earlier today, so you can rewind the VOD if you would like to see that. Okay, so... Oh, man. I got an hour and a half of the morning stream chat, and yet I'm feeling short on time here. So, current goal... I am going to go to the Wizard's Tower and try to make a group to do the Daily Strikes and the Icebrood 5. And try out Heal Luminary and see how I do. And afterward, do like an I Tried video. Hopefully there's time for that. And then if there's still time after, we could check out that Horizon MMO on EU. You know what? I actually don't know what server I'm on right now. Hang on. Hang on a sec. I'm not on EU. Bacon! Just a sec. I can swap. It'll take 1 minute. I'm usually on EU when I stream at this time. I forgot to swap. It's morning. How dare you? I know! I know. Hang on. The Book of Grudges is like the favorite tabs on... I don't know. Let me see. Total War Dwarves Cinematic. Does it show the book? Let's see. Okay, hold on a sec. Oh man, it's taking a minute. Dude, YouTube did this change recently and it made everything just stupid. Okay. Alright, hold on. My game is changing servers right now.
In the World's Edge Mountains.
Hold on a sec.
Song is recorded.
Oh, here it is.
Every slight against us. Page after page. etched in blood. Clan Gunnison, Carricade Peaks, Joseph Bookman.
He's just reading about past grudges and getting mad all over again.
The Urks must pay. Let them come.
The dwarves get mad if the grudge book is empty. Yeah, that's another grudge. That's another one. Okay, let's see. Trying to log back in. Alright, let me see if it's finished. Move it over. Monk, what's your favorite new elite spec this X-Pack? Maybe Ritualist? Okay, trying to log back in again. Dude, today's gonna be a busy day. Alright. Bacon of Obscurity is up. What have I walked into? I had to patch my game, so I was logged out for a second. Okay, so now I'm on EU for realsies. So, if anyone would like to join me, my goal is to do the Daily Strikes and the Ice Brood 5, and I am on Heal Alack Luminary. And it'll give me some practice with it. I was able to heal through the extreme damage field, so should have no problem, but it'll give me some practice with it, and we'll go from there. So, first off, let's see, Daily Strikes. It's Cosmic. So Cosmic Observatory, we will keep Sanctuary for dealing with the projectile hate. Do we have patch notes? Yes. We just finished reading the patch notes. If you want to hear me read them, rewind the stream a little bit. If you just want a link to them, I will give you a link here. All right, and we got room for 3 more people, chat. All right, let's see. Yuda says quick DPS. All right, then I'm Heal Alack, so Yuda can go with me. Let's see. Skyny says can be second Alack Luminary. Okay, Skyny, why don't you do that? Second Alack Luminary. And Tempest says quick DPS. All right, Tokizo, you be quick DPS. All right. Everyone that is still in Group 1, if you could just be the best DPS you could be, I'll put you into the other groups in just a minute. I'm zoning into Cosmic Observatory. Mug is from NA, right? I am from NA. I am playing on EU right now. But yes, I live in the United States, if that's what you're asking. So, I'd say NA is my home server, but I play on both. I'm sorry. It's not really something I'm, to be proud of at this point in time, but yeah. I'll say the world is rather spicy at the moment. That's one of the reasons I like what I do, is I hope that I give people just a reprieve, Like, they come here, they just kind of forget about crap for a while, just talk about video games, and just gush over pixels and stuff like that. And, just kind of give your mind a break for a while. That's the goal. Let's see. Can't play, I'm from NA. Okay, alright. Then, I'm gonna drop you from the group, but it's lovingly, okay? It's lovingly. Alright, chat, we got room for one more. We had a DPS that joined... that was on the wrong server. We got room for one more. Kind of away from the world for a bit. What happened? Well, I mean, in the United States, the government has been shut down for quite some time now, which, I mean, I don't know why that's allowed. But as a result of that, my health insurance is possibly about to go from $600 a month to $1,300. Hopefully, they hit the on switch before that happens. But we'll see. Alright, waiting on Shadow Me to zone in, who just joined. How is that related? So, typically if you're getting health insurance, you get it from your employer. But I'm essentially self-employed. Like, Jeff Bezos certainly doesn't give me health insurance. So I have to get the, just the health insurance that people get if their employer doesn't give them health insurance, and it's really crap and it's really expensive. So that's what we have to get. And believe me, before anyone says it, we've shopped around a lot. But the health insurance we've got is shooting up in price. Amok, the new Dark Tide class has Mad Chemist vibes from one of the archetypes of the blog post. I would definitely want to check that out. I love Dark Tide. Okay, so I'm going to bring Sanctuary because of... Let's see. Hold on. We don't need stability on this. So I could bring maybe Effulgent Stance and Sanctuary and try that out. All right, so let's do... I'm going to do the thing, and we'll do a ready check. And if everyone is good, we'll go once the barrier comes down.
Keep them away.
Two separate things? Okay, well, sorry. I was passing on information as it was given to me. Wasn't intending to misinform. Pole dancing! Oh, I missed one thing. Oh, oh, my arc is still working. Cool. Let me give you guys that if you want it. Ah, crud. Oh no! Okay. So I was doing the sword move from the whatchamacallit? The forge, and she went untargetable, so instead of hitting her, it launched me through her and back into the thing. So she went untargetable right when I clicked it, and I just went yeet. Like a noob flying off Harvest Temple. Pick those up! I overreacted there. I could have gotten out of that using one cooldown, but I used multiple just because I panicked.
If you don't stun her, we have no other options.
That was handy. I happened to be in Forge right when we needed to stun her, so I was like, oh, okay, shield bonk. Spinning, taking one step back. Oh man, we got a nasty puddle under us right now.
Alchemy! Stun her, or we're done!
Oh, that got a bit hairy there at the end. There was one of those like damage puddles under the pile of people, and I think some people didn't see it, and they were just getting like microwaved. So there was a few people that were downstate, other people that were in it, and we were healing them through it, and they didn't realize it. Okay, got through it. I did okay with most of it, other than that one mistake where I yeeted myself right into the problem. All right, what is the next one? Let's see, Canang Overlook. Okay. Spam dodge for vigor. Wait, what? Dodge gives vigor. No revives today? No revives today. I don't know what you're asking. I was trying to keep people alive. I was healing as hard as I could. Self-vigor, but yes. Oh, I mean, I don't really... That seems kind of stupid. Dodge, spending endurance to gain vigor that over the course of its full duration gives you back that one endurance. You might as well just save the dodge for when you need it. Okay. Wizard's Portal Tome, other location, Harvestone. Dodge also heals. Yeah, but he said dodge for vigor. We were just talking about vigor. You could take some revive skills with you. Yeah, I know. I mean, I made use of all of the skills I brought there, so it's fine. You're talking about, like, Signet of Mercy. Overlook. Game crashed reloading. Okay. Okay, chat. Earlier, I asked ArenaNet about the Hall of Monuments thing. So I said my chat saw that they mentioned the Hall of Monuments, but Reforged does not say it includes the Eye of the North. Does it include Eye of the North and it's just not mentioned? Or should this Hall of Monuments thing perhaps be removed if Eye of the North is not included? And I got a response, and it says, Guild Wars Reforged includes Prophecies, Factions, and Nightfall for a new bundled price. It does not include Eye of the North, but our DLC will have reduced pricing when Guild Wars Reforged goes live on December 3rd. Eye of the North is required for the Hall of Monuments rewards, which, I mean, I already knew that. That's why I said that's why I sent the question. So I guess the price of Eye of the North will drop, but it's not included. Okay, so Sanctuary, don't really need that here. Well, actually, wait, you could use it on the Sniper, I guess? I guess you could use Sanctuary on the Sniper. Or Shield of the Avenger? Maybe bring Shield of the Avenger for the Sniper? Don't really need a lot of stability or Aegis on this. Okay. Alright. Ready, check. Okay, let's try this out.
Usually I prefer to handle these matters in private. But as deathbeds go, you could do worse. Enjoy the view!
Oh, I got a number on me. Watch out if you're between the boss and a number. Help revive if you can.
I represent Kanto's future. You're mere pests in the way.
This is the best part of the job.
Got your jail cell ready. Pull off the pillow myself.
Stay synchronized, you two.
You know, I never noticed it before now. The lady that says "got your jail cell ready," that's the same voice actress or actor. I don't know which as Yao, isn't it? I think it is. The ritualist is almost dead. We're gonna finish it off? I guess we're hitting the Mind Blade now. Okay.
You know who you're dealing with?
She's like, do you know who I am? My dad has 500 confirmed kills. You know, I can't immediately articulate all the reasons why, but I will say, just from doing this, playing this on 2 fights so far, this already feels much better than Luminary did in its beta. I don't know if the Guardian mains agree with me on that, but this already feels like so much more fluid to me than it did before. And I think a big part of it is the fact that in the beta, when you used your forge skills, they went on, like, the more skills you used, the longer the cooldown was, so you felt punished for using them. And they got rid of a lot of that. No, don't run away, I'm pole dancing.
Vile fools! How dare you soil my nation!
Oh, I was still in Forge, I just realized. Hey. Thank you. Oh gosh. Chat, I've told those of you who've been here for a while know about how we've accidentally Pavloved Chip in the wrong way with the scent of hot dogs. And my wife came in to bring me a hot dog for lunch, and Chip followed her meowing loudly, like, that's mine. Is this CM? No, I'm playing Heal Luminary for the first time. Not CM, because I'm bad.
goons.
There's 2 Necros in Shroud and they're low health and I can't heal them and they're giving me a heart attack.
I'll dispose of you myself, you scum.
What? Was that on me? I hope it wasn't on me. Hold on, I'm doing the AoE revive thingy.
Enough! Enough!
Okay. Was it my fault? It was on you, I think. No. Hold on. Was it under the commander tag? You got mail? I'm busy. Hang on. Where is... Hang on a sec. Alright. Hang on. No. No. Alright. Dude, I can't see anything under this. Like, there's 3. I can see 3 over there. Light aura. Dude, I don't even see it on anyone. Like, I'm ready to take fault if it was me. I don't see it. Wait. Is that it right there? Is that the symbol? Okay, I think that's it. And then there. It's moving. And it gets closer. It gets closer. I think that's a Reaper because of the color of the health bar. Alright. Cool. It wasn't my fault. Alright. It wasn't my fault. I needed to know if it was me. Alright, let's go to Iceberg Saga. Oh. Because it has happened before, where if you've got the commander tag, sometimes a mechanic will appear behind the tag, and you can't see it. And I was like, oh no, was it on me and I didn't see it? And that's why I checked, but it wasn't me. Eye of the North.
An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to butts.
Thank you, Anonymous. Anyone of Guild Wars 1 and 2 can link for the reward on Steam. You mean the Hall of Monuments thing? No. Hall of Monuments is a standalone client only. We're in Whisper of Jormag? Well, then come out. I said we were doing the Icebrood 5. Usually you do easiest to hardest.
Commander, heard you're headed back into the pass. I'll be right there.
Give me that. You stay put. Be careful up there. Conditions have gotten worse since Bangar left. You'll have to find another way up.
Where's... There we go. Stand your ground. What? Okay. Muck me, I guess. You guys just saw me click stand your ground, right? Now I have hold the line on my bar? Oh, it's over there. I hit the wrong button. Alright, that's on me. Noob Guardian doesn't know how to press the stability button. So I took the time to go down, select stand your ground, and put it on my bar, and then proceeded to hit a button that was not that button, and then got rolled over by a barrel. A barrel? A boulder. I got dyslexia today, good god. Monk is looming? Dude, I loomed all the way back down that tunnel.
From following Bangar? Makes you wonder if it's intentional, and who's pulling the strings.
Watch it. Commander, you heard it too, Cree.
Wasted says if you, quote, if you purchase Guild Wars Reforged on Steam when it releases on December 3rd, you can create a Guild Wars account that's tied directly to your Steam login. If you also play Guild Wars 2 on the same Steam login, any progress you make in Guild Wars Reforged will count toward Hollow Monuments rewards for that Guild Wars 2 account. You'll need Eye of the North expansion to access the Hollow Monuments in Guild Wars. Ah. Okay. I will... Thank you. That is good. I will copy-paste that into the video description. Okay, looks like everybody's here. Alright, dot, 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 dot. The unexpected leap. GG! Money, money.
Sounds like that.
Money!
But no change in the storm.
Seeing that karma pop up reminded me of something, chat. So, yesterday morning, I released a video that was it was a guide on how to make the legendary rebreather. 20+ minute video. I covered how to do the jumping puzzles from start to finish, how to get like every resource in there. And there was a comment under the video that says, how come you didn't go over how to get karma? I guess I should have covered gold farming too. Because you have to spend karma to get a quest item from a vendor. And I didn't cover how to get karma, so bad guide. Terrible guide.
You shame yourselves.
Yep. That guide was a 5 out of 7. It was perfect. Recommended to everyone. 5 out of 7. What? Mechanist, you forgot. 2 of you have forgotten your pets. Guys, I love playing mech, and it saddens me to see mechanists just leave their mechs, like, way behind them. Come on. Take care of your little buddies. Alright. 3, 2, 1.
All will be preserved, dreamer. Guide the arrows, my claw.
We dream together.
Nice. I'm actually, you know, I think Luminary has done something that ArenaNet's been unable to do for the last, like, 10 years, chat. They've made me enjoy Guardian. This is kind of fun. I didn't expect this. Like, I've never said Guardian's bad. Guardian was busted overpowered for many years. And it wasn't my thing, you know? Like, I'd be like, oh yeah, you want to, like, I'll recommend it to other people, but it just wasn't my jam. I'm enjoying myself right now. I'm not, like, stellar at it, because, like, there's a lot to take in, but it's fun. The rise of the cave to Muxxader. Alright, hold on. So, this guy... Stand your ground, effulgent. That's fine. I'm trying to, like, put in the effort to adjust my utilities based on the encounter. My Word doc was pre-written chat answers to your questions. It's called Convert Muck to Blue. What? Alright.
Dream with me. It's time.
Every time he goes, it's time, I think of freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! Every time. I can't stop myself. Oh, did you guys see where I was? I thought I wasn't in range of that.
You fought so hard, but your long day has ended.
When he came crashing down there, I did Aegis, and then I got knocked down. So either Aegis blocked the damage, but it didn't block me getting CC'd, or something else hit me and consumed the Aegis right before the shockwave hit me. And I'm not sure which happened. Mirrors are nerfed. Yeah, mirrors got nerfed. Well, the patch notes said the mirrors got rebalanced. the mirror loot got adjusted or something like that. They were vague on it. I don't know exactly what they did, but I had already done the mirrors today before the patch hit, so I can't test it myself, so I just have to go by what y'all tell me. By the way, side note, chat, look at this. So the spear has a movement skill where you click, choose it, and then you release and you go that way. Those are my favorite type of movement skills in the game. Ranger Staff 3 has the most fluid one I know of, where you could just be like, you know, oh, someone's coming after me, and you could just like throw it like that. Those are my favorite ones. Like, you've got, you know, ones where you, like, charge forward. You've got ones where you go backward, like some of the disengage skills. But the ones where you could just, like, throw the mouse cursor, like, where you want to go and then release it. Those are my favorite ones, like, because it's, you know, any direction. So that's just a nice little bonus to me, for me, having that on this. Use the skill while the mouse cursor's on the health bar. You just charge in place. I guess if you just really wanted the resolution. Okay, hold on. So this boss, we do need stability. We don't need projectile block. Okay, I guess Effulgent Stance is fine. Oh wait, I didn't get enough of the charges. There we go. I love that on Warrior. Yeah, Warrior Staff, the 3, I believe. I think Warrior Staff 3 has that. Is it Line Breaker? Where you like charge to your mouse cursor and then you do like a big heal and an Aegis on the team. We're waiting on one more. Muck, you're a jelly donut guy, right? In the words of Robert Robertson, yep, I'm a jelly donut guy. I just love just hogging down those juicy jelly donuts. Love them in my mouth. And then he turns around and sees coworkers staring at him. Oh no. Ah, shoot. Couldn't separate. Okay. Chat, if you down a teammate but then you res them, did it ever actually happen? It's like a tree falling in the woods, right? I couldn't get away from the guy. We were surrounded. Oh god, oh nice, someone else got me out. I was gonna say, I have no idea what my most damaging abilities are. I haven't gotten to that point of the research yet. I like how I'm in the air and still doing the charging animation. Just like my feet are just running in place like I'm a Looney Tunes character. Oh, that was almost bad. Okay, reminder that after this phase is when the boss is going to start doing the mini bullets everywhere thing. Okay, I stability'd my group there. I did what I was supposed to do. It's weird that he's against the wall. Usually after that phase, he goes to the middle. There he goes. There he goes. All right, watch out, watch out. Nice. Not too bad. Not too bad. Boop, boop. Okay, Bone Skinner. Mechs can block them. Mechs can block them. So can the Summon Fleshworm from Necro. But it basically changes the risk. Because you either have A, scattered bullets all over the room, or B, 1,000 explosions per second right on top of the boss. So, and either one's fine as long as the group knows what to expect. Because if the DPS aren't expecting 1,000 explosions per second on the boss, they will just die instantly and not know what happened. Something I was wanting to know in the middle of that fight that I need to read my skills is whether or not Spear 4 cures conditions when it's not illuminated. And it looks like yes. So Spear 4 cures colonies on allies even when not illuminated. Okay, I needed to know that during that fight. Just a sec. Hold on a sec. So we don't need stand your ground for this. Effulgent stance would be useful. Projectile block is good on this fight because of all those ads that are shooting bullets everywhere. So maybe Shield of the Avenger? I'll try that. Okay, and then I'll do a ready check. Okay, squad ready. Okay, moving left. Nice, good CC. Moving. If there's any people in chat that don't know Bone Skinner, even if there's a lot of flashy effects going on, what you can do is look for when he raises his paw. Got 2 downstate, if you can help revive. Nice. Not too bad, not too bad. So I would say, I think everyone that didn't make a mistake that instantly downstates you, I kept up in my party. And pretty happy with that. So in the end there, we did 3,600 DPS. Now, DPS is always heavily inflated on Bone Skinner because of the laser. Do you guys see this? This is my DPS. That's the laser. Just la 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 la, blam! Just gunshot noises. La 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 la. Okay, so your DPS is always overcharged on this fight if you do the special action key. And then we did 7k heal per second and a bit of barrier. I think I used a Fulgent stance 2 or 3 times, so like 600 barrier per second. I'm pretty happy with this. I would gladly recommend this to people. Thanks for the lead muck, you did good looming. Thank you for the kind words. This was a lot of fun. I'm surprised by how much I enjoyed this. But yeah, that was really good. And I am the first to admit I didn't play it perfectly. I was having to like reread tooltips a lot there. There were moments I was like, I need to Aegis. Oh, fuck, what was my Aegis button? You know, but yeah, that was good. That was good. All right. What's the fantasy of Luminary? Oh god, let me see if I can remember. It was the Iron Legion from the Char and some, what was it? Some people from the Humans faction? They teamed up and they invented this thing. This lantern that has like a holy flamer in it, something. It was Iron and Flame Legion. Oh, okay. So, and then it houses power that you draw from. So if it allows you to go into Radiant Forge and you pull that power into yourself, and then basically your Green Lantern. So I can make a hammer out of light, I can make a staff out of light, I can make a sword out of light, I can make a shield out of light. And so it's kind of like you enter Radiant Forge mode, which is a collection of many different weapons, and they all have like one powerful ability. And it's fun. It was fun, truly. You are Magic Amalgam. Kinda. I mean, like, I played Heal Amalgam. This felt better to play more than Heal Amalgam. But, okay. Let me, excuse me. Holding back sneeze. Let me go to Lion's Arch. So I'm going to record, let me gather my thoughts for a second. I'm going to record an episode of I Tried for the Luminary, but spoiler alert, good things to say about it. So I would say, let's see, hold on. Let me make a few bullet points here. All right. It has a unique buff that no one else has. Ease of play. I would say it was harder to play than something like Paragon. Paragon was very easy to just crank out stupid boons and numbers. This took more effort than that, but it has like a lot more flexibility. Flexibility. You have 2 utility slots and your elite slot that you can change based on the situation. Let's see. Oh, Vigor. Vigor is not really a thing with the build I was playing. That's worth mentioning. Let's see. Aegis, stability, could talk about that. Damage redirect. Yeah, damage redirect. Okay. It's Guardian, so broken at base. Well, Guardian, okay, I've said this in many videos. In my opinion, I've called this the toolbox, right? This is your toolbox. These are things that you can bring depending on the situation. I believe that the toolbox, or the utility skills you can select from, for Guardian and Mesmer, are the strongest selection in the game. Like, I don't know, like, about you guys, but like when I play my Druid, for example, most of this is useless for Druid. There's a couple in here, but most of this is useless for Druid. Tempest as well. There's a few things to choose from, but not a ton. But Guardian and Mesmer, Chrono especially, there's a lot of good stuff in here. So like before every fight, I was like, okay, do I need projectile block? Do I need stability? Do I need Aegis? Do I need multiplications of Aegis on a short cooldown? Do I need a barrier for the team for more healing? Do I need more CC? Do I need an emergency res because Billy's here tonight? There's a lot of good stuff in here to choose from. Okay. So let's turn off the, oh, hello! Yeah, I ate the hot dog. You weren't in here. I would have given you a bite of the bun, but you weren't here. He's going... Okay, hold on, chat. Let me put my plate away. He's going after my dishes. I don't want him to break something. Here, do you want sunbeams? There you go. There you go. Now you can recharge. All right. I opened the blinds so he can get toasty. All right. Don't have a Guardian, kick your injury. They don't do anything. Recruit a Guardian. Mukluk 2020. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, let's see. Okay, what he's talking about, there's a quote in the very first Get to the Point video I ever made was Cairn. And there's a moment in the fight, I was like, yo, this mechanic can be completely trivialized if you have stability. Just have a Guardian press stand your ground. It gives stability to all 10 members of the raid. And then I said, you don't have a Guardian? Kick the Engineer. They don't do anything. Get a Guardian. And at that time, Mechanist didn't exist. Scrapper did, but I think Bulwark Gyro did not give stability at the time. So I think that Scrapper couldn't give stab. I would have to go double check the wiki, the patch updates. But certainly it wasn't 10-man. If it did have stability, it wasn't 10-man. And Standard Ground was 10-man at the time, so they could just get the whole raid. Did you talk about Guild Wars 1 Reforged yet? Yes, I did at the beginning of the stream. Go do, if you want to rewind this VOD, it's in this VOD. Let me see. Hold on. Guild Wars 2 Bulwark Gyro. Now I'm really thinking about it. So Bulwark Gyro also gives, what is it? Defense Field. Defense Field has stability. Give me a second. May 2018, they added stability to it. But I think that was before I made that guide. Yeah, but it didn't always give stability. Scrapper was in the game for 3 years before it was given stability. On the Bulwark, the Defense Field Bulwark Gyro. Can we put a disclaimer on stream? The Guild Wars Reforged was already mentioned. No, the reason for that is, one, it would take up some screen real estate or chat real estate. Two, the people asking don't read. So it's fine. I still love you all, even the DPS players. All right, spawn, average, spawn. And adjust environment, extreme. And actually, you know, I'll do that while where the camera's rolling so people believe it. Adjust self, add boons. What am I? I'm alacrity, so I need quickness. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's turn off dialogue as well. Dialogue and music. And we're going to pause alerts and chat. I'm going to try to record, and I tried for Luminary off the cuff here. So here we go. Let me change this stuff just a little bit. So stand your ground and maybe advance. All right. Alright, hello Guild Wars 2 gamers. Today we've got another episode of I Tried, and today we're visiting the blue class. We have got the Luminary, specifically the healing build for Luminary, because I do like my supports, and this is the last heal build that was added in Visions of Eternity that I had not yet visited, so here we are. And ArenaNet has done something with this class that they have not done in the last, 10 or 20 years, or however long Guild Wars 2 has been out, and that is... God dang it, they made me enjoy Guardian. Clip it. I don't know if I'm going to say this ever again. This was actually fun. Let's get into it. All right, so first off, at the time of recording this, I went on to the usual sites like MetaBattle and Guildgen and Snowcrows, and most of them didn't have heal Luminary builds except Snowcrows. So because I am not super fluent with Guardian, I copied a build from Snowcrows and then made some tweaks to it until I was happy with it. We are running full Harriers on the armor with Runes of Water, Harrier on the weapons with Concentration and Transference. We've got a spear and a staff. Over here, we've got Harriers on the top row, and we have got Givers on the bottom row, so that we're not completely fragile. For those... Hi! Do you want your spot? Okay. Good lord. Surprise carrot. What was I saying? We've got Givers on the bottom row of the jewelry section, and the reason for that is, for those that don't know, Guardian is tied for the lowest hit points in the game. Now they're in heavy armor, and they got lots of defensive buttons, lots of buttons that block the next hit, so they feel tanky sometimes, so especially if you're fighting them in PvP and they know what they're doing, but they do have the lowest base hit points, or tied for it, in the game. So they're actually squishy if something hits them and they don't expect it. So a little bit of tankiness here to help us stay in the fight. We're using Relic of Caracosa that heals nearby allies when we do a blast finisher. Okay, so here's the build. And I sometimes just show the build and then I just go on, but I'm actually going to talk about a few things here because there are some changes that you can make, and even I, with my, just 1 day of experience with this, could point out to you. So first off, gain vigor at the end of a dodge roll. That's self only, not the whole party. Create a symbol whenever you use a healing skill. So basically, if I use my healing skill here, it will then draw a pretty picture on the ground, and that pretty picture will do healing and protection in the area. The healing is actually coming from the Grandmaster trait, so let's go over here. All symbols will do pulsing healing to allies and last longer. So this basically is, you're doing quite a few symbols with various things in your kit, and this makes them pulse out more healing. So like, for example, there's Symbol of Swiftness on the staff, and that now also heals. So that's nice. All right, and then Empowering Might. Grant might to nearby allies when you get a crit. So whenever you crit, you're giving the whole party a little bit of might, so that helps. Virtue Skill 2, now also passive, also regenerates endurance. So your F2, now you're going to keep your F2 on cooldown. However, there's another trait that you can take that will have it still help regardless of that. So it's not Vigor, but it's baby Vigor, and it is basically always running on teammates, and I'll come back to that. Virtues. Virtues apply boons to allies when activated. Deal increased strike damage for each boon on you. We are going to be hitting the F1 and F2 every time they light up. It's whack-a-mole with those two. So that is helping with some boon uptime with might and regeneration. The last one we're kind of keeping for when we need it. Master of Consecrations. Consecrations gain increased duration. This is especially useful for like if you're in a fight where you need Sanctuary. So this will make it so that Sanctuary lasts 7 seconds instead of 5. Sanctuary is both a heal within it, it is a projectile block in it, and it knocks enemies out of it, or tries to. If you've never played a Guardian, if you put this on a boss that is immune to getting CC'd, it will still try every second. So it'll do knockback, 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 knockback. You just drop it right on top of them, and it hits them with 7 knockbacks. So the amount of CC you get for pressing one button is incredibly high, with Sanctuary. However, it takes a few moments for it to run its full course, but very, very powerful in the moments where you need it. And again, it heals party members in it, and it also blocks projectiles. Virtue of Resolution. Gain resolution when you activate a virtue. Resolution you grant has increased duration. So you will have a lot of resolution uptime on yourself. It's not really super necessary, but it helps. And then we get to this section here. So you could run this. This is some stuff related to Hammer. We're not using Hammer. And also heal whenever you disable, immobilize, or chill a foe. We do have some disables in our rotation. For example, Radiant Forge Hammer 2 is a disable, because it also will supply Might and Fury to the party. So we are doing that periodically, and it does like a 900 heal on the party when you do. And Indomitable Courage, whenever you use your F3, you stun break and stability the team. So you hit F3, and then boom, lots of boons, including Aegis, and also stability, and it stun breaks the team. Very powerful. Other option, which, unless you really need this, I like this option more. This one is when you activate Virtue Skill 2, you also cure condies on the team. You are hitting F2 a lot, so this is some regular condition cleanse going out to your party members. And then this one is nearby allies gain the passive effect of Virtue Skill 2. Now, for you, if you activate Virtue Skill 2, you lose the passive buff from it until it comes back off cooldown. Notice, for example, there's Radiant Justice. There's Radiant Justice. I use it. It's gone now. However, allies will still get the effect of it even while this is on cooldown. So this means they're getting the constant endurance regeneration buff that we got up here. And they're also getting the pulsing healing from it every 3 seconds. So it's kind of like if you're playing a Water Ellie and you've got Soothing Mist on the party healing them, you'll have your regeneration healing them per second. You'll also have your virtue healing them per second. And then also, if you are running Signet of Courage, this will be healing them every 3 seconds. And this is optional. And then all your other stuff that you're actually doing. So basically, this is more passive healing and some condition cleanse on the party. This is some healing whenever you CC, not as much as Battle Presence, I don't believe, and then another stability option for if you need more stability. I was running this today. All right, Luminary. So Luminary, refresh the duration of Luminary's Blessing and trigger its healing when you exit Radiant Forge. So really quickly here, what is Luminary's Blessing? Luminary's Blessing reduces incoming strike damage by 10%. Heal when this expires. And it says, grant Luminary's Blessing to allies when you equip a radiant weapon. This is actually kind of crazy. This class has a buff it gives to teammates that other classes do not have. I really like this. I like when a class has something small and unique that sets it apart from everybody else. And in this case, 10% reduced damage hitting the party. Now, that's multiplicative. So first, they get hit, and then if they have protection, they take 33% less damage. Then that remaining number is then reduced by 10% of whatever it is. And the reason for that is a long time ago, they used to just add up all the damage reductions. Then there was a period of time where Revenants were able to get 100% damage reduction and they were immortal. And they don't want that to happen again. So it's multiplicative now. The point is, though, this is really cool. This is your party takes less damage. Other healers don't have this. This is a Luminary special. Now, it is a very tight range. You need to be bunched up for this, but still, that's pretty freaking cool. And whenever you refresh it, or whenever whoever it wears off, they get a 1k heal, which is nice. So that is awesome. Grant boons to nearby allies when you equip a radiant weapon. There's your alacrity. So if I go into the forge and I boom, there's a hammer, and then there's a staff, and then there's my sword. We just did alacrity 3 times. So it's pretty easy to keep alacrity up. And over here, illuminating inspiration, reduce the recharge of virtue skills when you equip a radiant weapon. So let's show that again. I'm just going to bing bing. There's F1, F2. I go into the forge and then hammer and staff. And look, hammer's almost completely back up. There, it's up. So basically, you're using your F1 and F2 every time they light up. Every time Forge lights up, we're doing some stuff in Forge, and that makes F1 and F2 come off cooldown very, very fast. Okay, so that's all that stuff. Up here, we are running Resolute Stance, which is just a really big heal and Condi Cleanse on you and the people near you. Hold the line, you need to keep boons up. So this, you're just hitting it every time it lights up to help keep up protection and regen on the party, according to Snowcrows, and I'm trusting them with that. These 3 are flex slots. Now, I have said in many videos in the past, Guardian has one of the strongest toolboxes in the game. This is what I consider its toolbox. Like, if I'm on my Druid, this list of utility skills, not many of them help with Druiding. On the Guardian, though, it's like, okay, well, there's a lot of damage on this fight. I'll bring Effulgent Stance for more barrier. Or there's a lot of projectiles on this fight. I'll bring Shield of the Avenger for more projectile block. Or I need to bounce these projectile back to hit the boss, like Matthias, so I'll bring Wall of Reflection, so he hits himself. Or I need huge CC, so I'm going to bring Sanctuary. Or Billy's here today, and he freaking sucks, so I'm going to bring Signet of Mercy to revive him. Or, I need more CC, so I'm going to bring this other thing. We need Aegis. I'm going to bring Advance. Has 2 charges of Aegis on it. We need more stability. I'm going to bring Stand Your Ground, which has stability for the team. I need even more stability, so I'm going to bring Stand Your Ground in one slot, and I'm going to bring Valorous Stance for the other slot. Like, holy freaking crap. There is a lot down here that is really good. And like the Guardian and the Mesmer toolbox down here are insane. There's a lot of stuff to choose from. So this slot, whatever you want. This slot, whatever you want. This slot, whatever you want. Some options. If you're in a group, I personally don't really like Feel My Wrath because you're going to have quickness from someone else. You've already got Fury covered, so it's just super speed. That is useful sometimes. Like if you really got to move the group from point A to point B really fast. However, I was learning a class I didn't know. Signet is pretty passive. It just every 3 seconds it pulses a heal out to the group, and then if you need to, you could press the button for a fat heal and also stability for the party, and it pulses the stability. So like if you hit this, if you look, see, stability, 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 stability. It basically does 6 applications of stability very rapidly over and over and over. So even if one gets chewed up, there's more that's coming down the pipeline over the next couple seconds. So it's pretty nice. Let me redo a food buff here. So again, these, whatever you want. When we went to Dagda, I brought Sanctuary to be able to just stop her projectiles and just throw a bubble on her whenever she started. Woo! Clip that out. Whenever she started throwing bullets all over the place. Whenever we needed stability, I would bring Stand Your Ground. Whenever I needed Aegis, we could bring Advance. I actually never brought Advance today because the F3 gave Aegis, and I never really needed more than that. Signet of Mercy was an option. When we did Canaan Overlook, I brought Shield of the Avenger to be able to block the sniper's bullets more often. Shield of the Avenger has 3 charges. What the hell? Like, dude, you could draw pictures of this thing. I had no idea this thing had 3 charges. I did not know. So that's an option as well. And yeah, there's a lot here. There's a lot. Where's Stand Your Ground? There it is. Sorry, so many of these pictures look like the just screaming guy from Clash of Clans. They all look the same to me. Okay, so let's talk about this guy. How do you play this? So first off, I am going to turn on an extreme damage field to show that I have a basic understanding of this class, and then we'll go from there. So Running in here, and then do 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 do, and then we pole dance. Oh, that's an Asura special. There we go. And do this, and I'm actually caught up on everything here. Okay, back into the forge. All right, and if you look at the boons, lots of lovely boons. Best boons I've ever met. And okay, so you get the idea. I'm staying alive. We got all these lovely boons. I'm healing through an extreme damage field. It is capable of that. And during that test, I did not use my heal skill, which is Giga Healing. I did not use Signet of Courage, which is Giga Healing. And I did not use a Fulgent Stance, which is a massive barrier on the team. So, how do you play this? So, I'm going to turn off the damage field so that I can focus on talking. All right, so you start in Spear. Okay, you start in Spear, and when you're in Spear, all your skills do bonuses if you're illuminated. Your 5 makes you so illuminated. So your opener is 5 and then 3. That does some boons, okay? Hit F1 and F2 every time they light up. Whenever Forge is up, enter the Forge and hit 2, 3, 3, 4. Now there are many ways to do it. That's how I choose to do it. Oh, F1 just lit up, we'll hit that again. Leave Forge, okay? Then use the 3 again, and swap. When you're in Staff, you want to use the 3 and the 4 every time they're up. So if there's the 3, the 4 is a channel, don't interrupt the channel, let it play out, okay? The 2 is a heal, use it as you need. The 5 is a CC, use it as you need, okay? Once again, F1 and 2 whenever they light up. Forge is up again, 2, 3, 3, 4. Leave Forge, okay? And then we're hitting hold the line every time it lights up. That's it. Okay, there's a few things going on there. Again, hold the line every time it lights up. F1 and F2 whenever they light up. Go in the Forge. 2, 3, 3. Again, 4. Leave Forge. And then with Staff, you want to have 3 and 4 on cooldown. With the Spear, you want to 5 and then 3 every time possible. And use 3 again before you leave the Spear. That's all the boons, and that is a lot of healing around you. Now let's talk about... let's see. Tokizo says, if you leave Forge with Staff used last, you get more healing. Okay, I'm going to trust Tokizo with that. If that's the case, then you could do 2, 4, 3, 3. So a couple of things to note here. One, your 4 in Forge moves you. This killed me once today. We were fighting Dagda, and I was doing my rotation, and Dagda went untargetable for a second, and started summoning a nasty damage field. And I had just pressed 4, she went untargetable, and I launched myself deeper into the damage field, and then I couldn't get out of it in time. And I was like, okay. And it reminded me of times when I'm in like Harvest Temple and I'm fighting the dragon and he goes untargetable right when you hit a movement skill and launch yourself off the cliff. It reminded me of that. So that was a shameful display, but know that Forge 4 is a movement skill if you don't have something right in your face. The 5 gives Aegis to the party and is a block. And if you double tap the 5, it's a shield bash and it's a massive CC. So I did not like burning the 5 for Alacrity because it wasn't necessary. And I really liked having the 5 available. So like if I was in Forge and the party was about to take a big hit, I could tap the 5 and Aegis the hit for the whole group. Or double tap it to do the big CC. So I didn't like burning the 5 for no reason. If the thing that I was just told about the Staff is true, sorry for, I'm being corrected. It's my first day on Luminary. So then I guess it'd be, use 2 and the 4 in some order first, and then the 3, and then you could double tap the 3. The second click of the 3 makes it do a big heal and condition cleanse. But remember, the first click on any of these gives your party Alacrity, so you need to be using some of them. And that's the gist of it. In the Spear, the 4 is a condition cleanse, use it when you need it. The 2 is a movement skill, use it when you need it. The Staff, the 2 is a spammable heal, use it when you need it. The 5 is a small CC, but if you happen to have Staff in hand and you need a CC, you could do that. The F3 is Aegis to the whole group, use it when you need it. And if you have this trait, it's also stability and a stun break to the whole group. I've memed about it before, but if you have that trait, this is right there. That one tooltip is more utility than the entire Weaver class. And it's still true. So that is how that works. And then emergency buttons, resolute stance, massive heal on the party and condition cleanse, Signet of Courage if you're using it, but you don't have to bring Signet of Courage, you can bring other things. Feel My Wrath is super speed and boons that, again, if you're in the open world using this, you'll give yourself some quickness for a little while. Even though you're an Alacrity provider, you'll get some quickness from this. If you're with a group where someone else is in charge of quickness, you're basically just getting the super speed from this. Daring Advance has some utility. You can basically it's a movement skill, and then it cages enemies so they can't leave for a minute. So that can be useful in some encounters if you need something to hold still. But I was using Signet of Courage all day today while I was learning. I think that about covers it. So yeah, again, tons of utility down here. You know, change based on what you need. If you need, especially if you're not running this straight, my stability basically came from Stand Your Ground. If you need more stability, you could run Stand Your Ground and also Valorous Stance. If you need projectile block, you got 3 options. There's Sanctuary, which is longer cooldown, but it's projectile block, and it's also healing, and it's also a ton of CC. Shield of the Avenger, which is just 3 charges of projectile block, so lots of it, more than you could ever need. Wall of Reflection is projectile reflect. This sends it back at the enemy, so, you know, if you need that for certain encounters. Then you got Signet of Mercy to revive teammates. You've got Advance, which has 2 charges of Aegis, so you've got, you know, those 2, plus also your F3, plus also your Radiant Bulwark in the shield. Yeah, there's a lot here. Let's see, what else? Am I in? Oh, I see them. It's because I was in the Forge. Another thing worth mentioning is whenever you use your virtues, it buffs the associated weapon skill in the Forge. So Radiant Justice says the next time you use Hammer, it will make a delayed secondary explosion. So if I use Justice and I go into Forge and I do the Hammer, boom, there's the delayed explosion, right? We did some testing with this, and from what I could tell, like that, the next time you bleh, it lasts minutes. So it's almost like, again, I'm using the F1 and F2 off cooldown, which buffs the Hammer and the Staff. So the next time I use Hammer, secondary Shockwave, and the next time I use Staff, it does a big heal on allies and grants them regeneration. So those 2 skills were almost always empowered every time I used them without any thought put into it. Because there was like almost endless duration on the... It's like an invisible buff, because like when I click it, I don't get a buff that says the next hammer is juicy, or the next staff is thick, you know, whatever. Don't clip that. It just happens. Even if it's really far in the future, it just happens. And you don't have to think about it. There's one for Radiant Courage as well. But again, Courage you're kind of saving for when you need it. But if you hit Courage and then you use the Radiant Shield, it does a barrier on the team, which, yeah, that's nice. But you also have a barrier on a Fulgent stance. So, like, for example, when we did Bone Skinner today, Bone Skinner is just a lot of damage in a room and some projectiles. So I was like, okay, I don't really need more. I don't need stability. I don't need more Aegis. So I brought a Fulgent stance to have more barrier on the party. And I believe I brought Shield of the Avenger to have another way of putting up a barrier to block the incoming bullets. All right, so that's how to play it. Different things to say about the Luminary. I've got some little notes over here on my other monitor. One, that unique buff is really freaking cool. Just, if you have a heal Luminary, if you got a Ritualist playing to perfection, and a Luminary playing to perfection, and a Paragon playing to perfection, you're going to take less damage with a Luminary because of this. That's neat. I hope that they don't take that away. That's a neat little thing. It's not overpowered, but it's something unique to them, and I like that. Ease of play. I would say, if you just compare all healers on a spectrum of how challenging they are to play, I would say this is in the top half of that spectrum. Paragon, for example, was much easier than this to play. I was able to pick up on this pretty quick thanks to the excellent guide that Snowcrows wrote. But like Paragon and Mechanist and Heelbender were much easier than this to pick up. This took some time to get used to. There's a lot of buttons that each do different things. There's a lot of tools here. And then like stopping before each fight and thinking, okay, all right, I need projectile block for Dagda, so I'm going to change this one. And hold on, guys, don't pull yet. Let's see, Dagda. I don't need stability on the Dagda. I don't really need Aegis. I guess I'll bring a Fulgent Stance for more. You know, and I had to think before each fight, like, okay, what skills am I bringing for this one? But so ease of play, I would say this isn't like the hardest class in the game, but among the healers, it's in the top half of them for complexity. Flexibility, very high flexibility. You have, again, these 3 slots, whatever you want. And you can change them before every single boss fight. So, very cool. Vigor. Vigor is the only boon that we're not pumping out constantly. Every other boon that we care about, we're just putting out constantly. You do give yourself some vigor when you dodge, but this isn't party-wide. Now, I was told by one person that if you bring a longbow as one of your weapons, you can do vigor on the party constantly with longbow 4. However, the longbow, I really wasn't comfortable putting away the staff or the spear because they were helping with a lot of other boons. So I was like, all right, just, people, they're getting baby vigor from the virtue. That's good enough for them. Like, vigor is, although it is a useful boon, if you compare all the boons, I would say it's one of the lesser ones in importance. So it's like, okay, well, they can just deal with that. So know that. You have some of the highest access to Aegis and stability among all the supports in the game with this. I think Firebrand might have the highest, maybe Chrono after that. This is really far up there, though, because you could have stability on your F3, you could have stability on Stand Your Ground, you could have stability on Valorous Stance, which would be 3 buttons that give stability. You could take Advance for 2 charges of Aegis. Your F3 gives Aegis. Your Forge 5 gives Aegis. So depending on, like, you're always going to have some, and depending on what you bring, you could have a lot more. Oh yeah, the Elite does stability also, thank you. So there's a lot of that. One more thing to mention is the damage redirect. Now, I didn't really mind this because it cuts off if it gets bad, but let me show you something. If you go into the Forge and look at the staff, and then right here. So you hit it the second time, heal and remove conditions from nearby allies, then redirect a percentage of their incoming strike damage to you. Now, a long time ago, there was a version of Engineer's Bulwark Gyro that existed when I was maining Scrapper for about a year. And when you used it, it provided barrier to the team, which it still does today, but it also redirected 33% of damage they took to you. And on Bone Skinner, whenever I hit that button, I would almost die instantly. And if anyone near me stood in a puddle, it would kill them and me, even though I wasn't in the puddle, because they were redirecting damage to me. Now, fortunately, they have learned from those dark days of the past, and it will also read, damage reduction will end if you fall below 50% health. Which means, I think I can safely say that you can use this and you don't have to worry about it. That means if your health is safe, you're peeling damage from your allies and taking it yourself. And if your health gets critical, it stops doing that. And I think that's a perfect implementation because, like I said, I remember dying because Billy stood in a puddle and then my head would explode. And then Billy would have the audacity to be like, yo, our healer died. And I'm like, deep breaths. So I'm glad that they added a limit to it. So you keep yourself above half and your party's taking less damage. But if you go below half, it stops drawing damage from them. And they're on their own until you fix that. So, really, really cool stuff here. I'm genuinely shocked by how much fun I had. This is the last Visions of Eternity support that I wanted to cover. After this, I'm going to be doing boon DPS stuff, like, quickness gale shot and things like that. But this is the last healer that I wanted to cover. So, going through them, Troubadour was fine. It felt exactly like playing Chrono, though. I fill the pink bubbles, and then I shatter the pink bubbles. It felt exactly the same to me. So I'm not going to main Troubadour. And honestly, some of my favorite Chrono support skills are, their wells. Like the Well of Precognition on Chrono. Oh my god, that makes my brain make the happy juice. Troubadour doesn't have that. So Troubadour was fine. It was effective. It's good if you like it. But to me, it felt just like playing the other Mesmer specs. You fill pink bubbles, then you spin them. Paragon, very easy to pick up, stupidly powerful. The only downside I could think of for Paragon is it does 500 DPS. So, by the way, this build has used 18. I was doing 2k DPS with this build, so more than Paragon, less than many other supports, but a little bit of damage. So Paragon was no damage and is very noisy. I hope they fix that. But the healing output and the survivability of it were top notch. So that was really, really good. Ritualist was really solid. It has some really cool, unique stuff. It also does way too much damage for a healer right now. I kind of expect that they're going to nerf that. We'll see. Like Mighty Teapot discovered that Zealot's build of Ritualist that could do the same amount of healing I was doing on this Luminary, but also 17k DPS, which is bonkers. Amalgam, I mean, I can't really recommend heal Amalgam. It kind of just, like, it's fine. It does the job, but if you compare it to, like, the Scrapper or the Mechanist, it's like, why would you play this? For me personally. So it just felt like it was just, like, missing some... Like, it was good because it had Medkit, it had Elixir Gun, it had Mortar Gun, it had, or Mortar Kit. It had all the stuff that Core Engineer has, which make it a good healer, but it, like, you don't even hit Evolve. Like, it wasn't really bringing anything on its own to the table. Who else was there? Water Evoker was pretty solid. Water Evoker is pretty good, but I felt like I was getting Carpal Tunnel playing it. That will be lessened somewhat when they add an autocast to the Otter button, but right now it's not there, so it's very, very high APM to do what the Paragon could do with 1/3 of the APM, and Paragon has like double the health, double the armor. So it was fine. If you like playing it, it's cool. This one was, I would say for me, Ritualist and this were the most fun, followed closely behind by Paragon. And this has the most utility of any of them, it felt like to me. Rit did the most damage of all the new supports while healing, and also had some unique powers like Zenrei's weapon and Weapon of Warding, and stuff like that. And also, you know, it's a Necro, so it can do like Boon Rip and things like that. But this just had like lots of boons, possibly the most access to stability or Aegis of any of the new supports, and that's because Guardian. And then also lots of healing, and it was just really fun. It felt like I had an answer for everything as long as I remembered all my buttons, and I, you know, sometimes prepared before the fight by swapping a skill out. So, yeah. I guess if I had to say something negative about it, it doesn't really have anything in the base kit for reviving a downstate DPS that went down. Now, you could bring Signet of Mercy, but for the most part, like, for example, if you're if you're a heal ritualist, you've always got Last Rites, which makes it so people around you do not bleed out. That's very powerful. Like, even if you did not take the Revive Well of Blood or Signet of Undeath, even if you didn't take those things, you've always got Last Rites, which is incredibly powerful for, you know, making the party bounce back. There's nothing in the base kit for this that helps with revives unless you specifically bring something which takes up a slot. But again, very high flexibility depending on what you want to bring. Do you trust your group? Yes. If no, bring Signet of Mercy. I think that's it. I think that's everything I have to say about this. This is really fun. I could see myself playing more of this in the future. I don't know about like open world, you know, where I need to be able to do some damage. I don't have a Guardian build that I really enjoy playing when I'm just on my own, you know, hitting things. But supporting a group, this was quite fun. This was enjoyable. And I think that's it. I'm talking in circles now. All right, so that was my day on Luminary. If you've got any questions, problems, thoughts, concerns, or comments about anything I missed or any corrections you want to make, I welcome it. I played it for a day. Put it in the comment section down below, and we will chat down there. Whenever I go, I hit a button that makes a marker on the stream so I can easily find that spot later. I almost hit the unstream button. Which we are going to do in a minute, but that I did not want to just end the stream just like cold turkey. It was like, all right, yeah, just end. Over. It's done. It's done. Hope you enjoyed it. All right, deposit all that. Mike, you say that every time. Well, I'm stupid every day. That's my secret. Okay, let's see. Now that the video's over, why you need to leave on staff? It's the second minor trait of Luminary. Shows what bonus you have when you equip a weapon.
Thanks for all
you can only have one at a time and refreshes to 10 seconds. You leave Forge. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Again, I welcome the correction. I'm glad you said it during the video, and I'm glad I saw it during the video. Where was it? Yeah. See, nothing on this says you can only have one of these at a time. Let's see. Yeah, I see. Okay, I get it. Yeah, so the hammer is damaged. So, because I was ending on sword, I was giving myself 33% movement speed. Okay, wait, the shield reduces incoming strike damage from nearby enemies by another 10%? Does that stack with Light's Gift? I mean, you can have both up. But I think that's self-only. You can have both buffs. But I think that one is group-wide and that one's self-only. Tank build? I mean, yeah, if you were tanking, you could cycle this just to have another 10%. Dude, you would have 33% damage reduction, and then 10%, and then another 10% multiplicative. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. All right. Man, this was a busy morning, chat. This was a busy morning. Okay, where was this guy? This guy was in Biora. We gotta send him home. This is one of my Eternal Ice guys. Muk, have you seen Eon 2? It looks awful. What? No, I haven't. I've possibly watched a trailer for the Eon game a long time ago. Or Aeon? I don't know how to say it. No, I have not seen it. One of the things I planned to do this morning, but we ran out of time because of all the new news videos. So as soon as this stream ends, I'm going to be making thumbnails and stuff for the Guild Wars 1 Reforged video and for the patch notes video. But the Horizon MMO, there's a 10-minute trailer for that I want to watch on stream. I guess I'll do that tonight. Because I meant to do that today, but we got busy. Eon. Eon. There we go. Eon. Speaking of damage reduction, Road Toad Evoker can reach 80% DR while still wearing Viper gear, and it periodically gains barrier. The Road Toad Evoker. Okay, but what role does the Road Toad Evoker fulfill? Is that damage or healing? Or is this just like some weird PvP build? Is Hammer still usable? Yeah, it's still usable. It's just you can't fly through the sky for as long as you could before. Alright. And log off. Okay. Oh, it's pretty cool that my arc DPS didn't break today either. That's good. Alright. Oh, you beautiful people. I have to tear myself away. Chat, thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. I hope you guys had a good time. Few plugs on my way out. If you happen to be new here, my name is Mukluk. I stream every single evening and every weekday morning. I'll be back in about 5 hours on the NA servers. It is Tuesday, so we'll do the weekly Guild Wars 2 giveaway. Be covering the... I want to watch that Horizon trailer tonight, and maybe, if I have time, do another I Tried. So next up will be the Boon DPS. So... Amalgam, Gale Shot, like all of that stuff. Like the new Boon DPS, and see what we think of those. Please hit the follow button on Twitch. Please subscribe to my YouTube channels. There's links to both of the YouTube channels in the chat right now. And a very special thank you to our dear patrons. They keep this channel alive with their support. I could not do this without them. And there is a link to that in the chat if you are interested. And my chatbot's not working, so I'm going to punch these commands in manually. All right. That said, shilling is complete. Let me see if I can find someone to raid. I'd like to support someone else in the Guild Wars 2 directory. On the Twitch side of things, let me see if this will load. Come on. It's thinking about it. Okay. Fandral, maybe? Fandral's good people. I try to raid Fandral once a week. Yeah, we can get Fandral today. That's fine. What is he doing right now? D-Gen week 2. D-Gen? Why are you D-Gen?
Metadata, like I know.
What is he doing right now? Cryptus defeated. Oh, he's doing rift hunting. Okay. What about Zeppla? Zepla's awesome too. I can get her later on. We have... I stream so much. We could do a lot of raids. I'll get Fandral for now. And like I said, I'll be back in about 5 hours if you wish to join me. All right. Y'all have a good one. See ya.
Mate, the planets are aligning. It's an amazing bob.